Me pongo el micrófono cerca, de pronto no me muevo tanto. Vamos a ver.
Hey everyone.
Vamos a ver. Hey Danielita.
Hi Nicolito, how are you?
I'm very good. We're s- we're gonna try to see if this new lighting setup
Mhm.
works a little bit better.
Mhm.
Maybe we could set it up better now that I'm looking at it.
A
But
little bit more back, like
no. I
from.
think it's fine. I think the light is fine. Probably for the people that know our channel, if they see my finger, they're already noticing what is different. Um, we're actually pointing light, very diffused light, but we're pointing light at our painting. So that's going to give us like a brighter painting because usually what we did was bounce it off the ceiling, which means that we have very little light on our actual painting. So it's probable, although I don't know because we are using it like a zoom lens also. But it's probable that maybe the painting is a little bit sharper today. Like it feels a little bit sharper.
Well, when you had your hand there,
Yeah.
it looked super sharp,
Okay, so maybe
which
that's
is good.
good sign to come.
Yeah.
But what f stop are we doing this? Do you
What?
remember?
What?
F
What?
stop F in the lens.
Oh,
F28,
F45.
F45,
Yeah. No,
F45.
I didn't get F stop. Uh, like I didn't get what you were talking
Oh,
about. I'm
okay. No, no,
sorry.
no. In the
I don't
lens.
know
It's okay. No,
the
no, no.
name in English.
Oh
So.
no, it's okay. It's okay. So the aperture then
Mhm.
of the lens. So 4.5, yeah, we should be doing fine.
We could
Lower
change
to
it
8.2. I mean to 8. I'm
to
sorry.
8. Yeah.
It's yeah. It would probably what that would do is allow more light in, and it auto adjusts the
So let me
ISO.
change it.
No. Let's try it like this today and see if there's
Because
when
if you
we
want, it would
I'll
take me like one
no.
minute.
It's okay. I'll rewatch the video afterwards to see if there's like noticeable difference between it. I think the best scenario would be, I mean, we either put a lot of light on top of this and have these two shadows meet because we have two lights. So this is how you, in theory, you take like a very nice photo of your paintings. You put them like 45-degree angle pointing at the painting. You kind of can tell, like if I put my finger like this, can you
Mm-hmm.
see that the two shadows that are going like
Yeah, they
one to
meet.
one side, they kind of meet in the middle and they feel the same.
Yeah.
They're not going on like weird different directions. We could do it like better. I think we could do it a little bit better, but I think it's good enough right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're trying that out. It's I can tell you right now, it's easier on my eyes. So that's a good thing, I
Oh,
guess.
that's good. Because I
Yeah.
was asking if we could put it a little bit backwards, like the lights coming from the back, thinking on your eyes.
Yeah, it's coming from the sides, so I can't really see it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't really feel it
Oh.
because yeah, what we had the other days was light pointing up at the ceiling, and we
Mhm.
tried to point it downwards, but then if it's pointing downwards but it's in front of me, I can see it, and that's going to kill my eyes. But right now, it seems to work. But everyone that has felt that it's super clean when we do it, when we bounce it off the ceiling, yeah, you're gonna have to deal with these little shadows here. I
Mhm.
don't see, I don't see how we can have one, without the other. If we want light pointing at the painting, and we want there to be enough light pointing at the painting, that means we're gonna make shadows.
Mhm.
I mean, it's impossible not to do that. What we can do is we can cancel them out, which is what's happening right now, which is, two lights, two exactly the same lights are just pointing at the painting at roughly the same angle. So, yeah. But if, you guys can let us know. I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's going to be a little bit easier on my eyes because I think what causes maybe sometimes what causes me to have like a migraine is that I don't have enough light. So my eyes are straining a lot while I paint. But yeah, so that's it. We're also, I think we cropped in like into the setup a little bit more. So we're probably not gonna have space. I'm looking at the screen. Probably not gonna have space to put our reference. But don't worry. yeah, I think today's painting is kind of nice not to know what we're painting. And it'll eventually just kind of reveal itself, and it's going to be nice. Because yesterday I was doing, let me see if I could grab it. I wasn't feeling that well, but I still painted because I always feel like I probably feel worse if I don't paint. Yesterday I tried this out.
We can't see
Oh yeah, you
all,
can't
but
see all of it.
maybe you can move it.
A little upwards. There we go. Okay, so I know the head is covered, but we
No,
put
there you go.
there we go. Yeah, but yesterday I wanted to see if the palette that we had that we're working with, which is a Zorn palette plus raw sienna, if it could lend itself to do something very earthy, very fleshy. So I actually, you can kind of tell, and that's why I decided to stop this painting at that moment. You can tell where my drawing is. You can tell where those, moments of underpainting are. The underpainting was the only moment that I introduced raw umber. So yesterday was a slightly different painting because I did use the addition of umber for the underpainting. But I could tell you right now that there's not much of that umber doing anything in the light side. Even in the shadow side, I didn't, I had to repaint everything. So there's a lot of paint on top of that umber. So there must be some, some effect of that umber in the final layer of the painting. But I think it's very, not negligible, but I think it's very, very small. So that's what I did yesterday. Today we're going to do something quite different, actually, because I was okay. I think I could do this.
Okay. Te iba a decir que creo que esto va a ser un problema. Toca bajarlo más porque está tocando la.
Oh, sorry.
Tranqui.
No, quítamelo.
No,
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. I'm super fine without it. I'm going to hit. No.
Estoy tratando de esperar.
Okay, so that's good. Sorry about hitting the camera. No, I can't use like a cushion on. We're using like another chair, so I'm not going to use a cushion. Anyways, so for today we're going to do something slightly different. I think a little more, I don't know, Zen-like, which is the sort of painting that I kind of search for at times. It's also like, a painting of like a little bit of nothing, but I think it's gonna be kind of interesting to paint it. If I bang my head into my lens, forgive me, and I think it's gonna happen quite a bit today. So forgive me. Still looking for the perfect setup, which I do feel that we're never gonna find. So I apologize for that. But so I'm not gonna say it. I told myself to stay still. But I know myself, and, I could be super disciplined with my posture. I don't have the body to maintain a posture. My core, non-existent. But I will try. But I promise you I'm going to hit the camera a bunch of times because I have the lens like right on top of my head. So I'll just apologize once for that right now at the beginning. And then act as if it doesn't happen. The rest of the times that I'm going to hit it. So I'm sorry for that. It's going to be the last time I say it. Thank you guys for understanding.
Obrero Futurista pregunta, ¿qué marca de Sienna usas? La de Windsor es muy, muy transparente. Esa se ve más opaca, casi como ocre.
No, es no. Lo que pasa es que acuérdese que en Windsor uno puede comprar como, suena feo, calidad de artista o calidad como más baja. Suena feo decir eso de nuevo. Entonces el Winton normalmente sería la calidad más baja. Yo pinté muchísimos años de mi vida con esa pintura y pienso que está bien. Calidad más baja quiere decir que hay mucho menos pigmento, más aglutinante. O que muchas veces reemplazan un pigmento que es costoso por otros pigmentos. Pero el que estoy usando es este M-Gram. Pero el tierra de siena natural es un pigmento que es naturalmente transparente. Entonces nunca va a ser así súper opaco. Bueno, eso también es importante como reconocerlo. Uno no, tampoco le puede pedir uno a un pigmento que sea distinto a lo que naturalmente es. Entonces no vamos a hacer dibujo. No previous drawing for today. I think it's one of those paintings that can benefit from not doing an actual underdrawing nor underpainting. I think it's just nice atmosphere. It probably takes me a little bit to get the atmosphere and then to just slowly flesh this little object out. But I think it's probably the best way to do it. So a little bit of if you guys want, I can because Alejandro, I don't know if he's here.
Yeah.
So, Alejandro has asked me to talk more while I'm painting about the decisions that I'm making. Not to talk more while I'm painting. That's what I usually do all the time. But to kind of narrate what I'm doing. So I kind of need my background here to be lighter. And then it goes a tiny bit darker, maybe like half a step darker. It's still going to be very neutral. It goes from a kind of cooler, lighter. So I'm using the only thing that I have in my palette to say, coolness, which is, that mixture of titanium white and ivory black. And then it slowly goes into a kind of strange, let me see if I can push the redness in here. Because I was going to say like a violet, and I thought, now I'm realizing probably not. You probably can't get a ton of violet. You can see a lot of the orange actually of the Sienna. So we need to actually push the violet, which means that we have to use our black and cat red. That's gonna make that kind of more violet, gray violet, let's say, mix available to us. So it goes from that. It's very, very subtle. There's this tiny little change in value. That's about it. But the important thing is that there's a very nice change in hue. So let's go for that. It just makes our background just feel, or the space, let's not call it background, because I often say that maybe the idea of a background, I'm not afraid of the idea of a background, but sometimes in our vernacular, we understand background as something that's not as relevant. So let's just talk about it as space or atmosphere. When we say space or atmosphere, that feels a little more charged with meaning and hence responsibility when we paint it. So maybe that's a not a more proper way of defining it or referring to it, but it just puts our mind in the right place when we need to solve it. So, or when we're attempting to solve it.
Amy McLean was saying, "Hi guys.
Hey, Amy.
My dad just bought the academic painting for my 18th birthday.
Amy!
Thank you. So unbelievably grateful."
Oh, Amy, your dad is Robert then.
And happy birthday, Amy.
So, Amy, the painting is on its way. I can tell you that. Super happy. Your dad actually told me about this. So I wrote a little something. I actually signed your painting, which I never do. I think it's probably like one of two paintings in our painted lives. That,
the one that said NUB.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. But I never signed them. And not because I don't care to sign them. A lot of people misinterpret why I don't sign them. They think that, because these are smaller paintings, or you do them like in one sitting, like alla prima, that's why they don't matter. Oh my God. It's like the one thing that matters at this moment in my life is this, project that we do with Danny. So that can not be farther from the truth. No, I don't sign them as a sign of liberty, I feel. Mm-hmm. It's almost like resistance. Those futile acts of resistance that sometimes we artists do, that we feel like the same way we feel like painting is a sign, like painting can be interpreted as a mark of resistance, which is very nice. It's a very poetic way of seeing painting. But for me, signing something means that I'm not, I always associate signing with like the gallery that I used to work with, just wanting me to sign my things, as if there was like this as if there was no value to something if I didn't sign it, but then suddenly because I signed it, there was not even like an added value, but just value, this sort of natural sense of value when you claim ownership of something, or when you claim authorship of something. And I never liked that. I never really enjoyed that my name would mean anything, I much rather always sort of point at the painting, but not at myself. I don't know why I never felt comfortable that I would play a part in that, I guess, apparent valuing of something. So when we started the project, I made the decision, and it's a decision that I think I've upheld for, like I said, let's call it 99.9% of the paintings. And I've just felt comfortable saying, I'm not going to sign it, but I'm not going to sign it as a thing, like as a way of saying, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. People can Google the painting, or people can watch the video. There's going to be like a replacement of authorship in those videos. Like, I thought about this and I said, is that what I care about? Like, replacing the signature with another thing, whatever it is, that would be or would take the role of like a certificate of authenticity. Like, the video could do that, or the voiceover could do that, or just having them on the page could do that, or just having them printed in a book could do that. And then I realized, no, I don't care to replace it either. I don't really care to think about replacing it. So I found great pleasure, for example, when going to museums, and when seeing paintings that you can't really categorize in some way, or you can't, you could say, oh, this is school of. So, for example, easiest example is like, there's a ton of paintings in painting history that are like part of the school of Rembrandt, which pretty much means that they were done at the time, like mid 17th century. But they can't really unequivocally say this is a Rembrandt. Like, there's enough information. We have enough information to say it's a Rembrandt. So the people just say, well, it's of the time. I mean, it's of the time, and it, maybe it was a painting of a student of Rembrandt's, and maybe Rembrandt had, like Steve would do when I was in school, Steve Assel or Max Ginsberg, they would say, you're confused with this a little bit. Would you mind if I help you out? And of course, just because I was dying to see them paint, I would always tell them, of course, paint on my painting. Like, who cares? And they would paint on my painting. And sometimes, areas of my painting were my own, and then other areas were Steve or Max's. And that's a very, I don't know, that's how I think the role of a student should be at the beginning, when you don't really know what you're doing, and you're just, in my case, I would always just love if my teacher could show me the way. So maybe the case is that Rembrandt could, sat down for like a little bit and just blocked in ahead, or put in some details, some like final details, and then said, okay, we're done. Like, that looks good. And then whomever was painting said, I'm not touching that. Like, I'm never going to touch that. So sometimes in the best of cases, I guess, you could have somebody say, this is the school of Rembrandt, and that's enough, right? But other times, which are fascinating to me, are when they go unknown painter. And you see a beautiful painting, and it just says unknown painter. And I love unknown painter. I love it. In fact, we should look if unknownpainter.com exists. We could probably redirect it to our painted lives. But I just love that idea, because that's what painting is. I know we have record of amazing painters, and I don't know, I guess they deserve that we honor them by saying this is what they did. I mean, we'll never know exactly what they intended when they did stuff. We never will. But we can at least say, okay, this is from the hand of Rembrandt, good or bad.
I think there's no
Oh, so maybe unless somebody gets it while on this live, which is fine. Uh, but but I just love that concept. And when I was when I decided that I wasn't going to sign anything, I was like, I want to be unknown painter. I want to. I mean, that's impossible, right? Because I already, people are already seeing me do the paintings. So, you could say, come on, you can't be the unknown painter. People are watching you paint the paintings. There's a record of your paintings. So it doesn't quite make sense. And I know it. But I just like the idea that eventually at some point, a painting can be good and it doesn't matter who did it. A painting can be amazing. And I'm not saying I'm doing amazing paintings, but a painting could be amazing. And who cares? Like 100 years from now, 200 years from now, if, my paintings survive for that long, hopefully you can tell me, Amy, if it survives for that long, or not you, but, whatever family you leave behind. Okay, that's sounding super dark.
And maybe they can't tell you. Because
I
if
know,
it's
you
like, you'll
so
tell.
whatever family you leave behind, dogs, cats, anything. I'm not saying that there's going to be kids or anything. I'm not implying any of that. Just tell your dog to tell my kids. No, my kids are going to be dead
Your
also.
grandkids,
Yeah,
if they have.
I don't know.
Or
Fer says that she doesn't want to have any
or
kids.
grandcats.
Okay,
or
so
dogs.
your dog tells my dog.
Your granddog. 'Cause
Your granddog has to tell my granddog if the painting survived. And even though I don't believe in an afterlife, so I'm not going to be happy because I'm going to be dead. Let's say right now, I could tell you that my dead body from 100 years from this is super dark is going to be happy. Is going to be happy. So I think we've dealt beautifully with that subject.
I wanted to tell you something because,
Yes.
I mean, YouTube is absurd. When you were showing the painting you did yesterday,
Yes.
A notification popped
Yes.
and it says, this video is being reviewed to determine whether it's suitable for most advertisers.
Oh, wonderful.
So,
They saw flesh.
yeah.
Flesh scared them off.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
so I got an alert.
Isn't that beautiful?
And I had to check,
messed
like,
up.
are you showing something that you can't show on YouTube? And I said no. Because, I mean, you were showing as
Oh
like
my
painted
God.
flesh.
Robots are going to kill us for anything in the future.
Yeah. But I wanted to
For
tell you, 'cause
nothing.
it's-
We're going to go to robot prisons in the future for nothing.
Oh, a robot prison would be...
Robot prisons run by
No.
robots.
No, I would be super scared.
Oh yeah, that's our end. That's like
No.
you.
Because, I mean...
as soon as there's like a robot prison, we're done.
Because you could also inhabit... Like, the prison can be a robot. Like, because doors...
Oh
the
yeah,
doors would be
automated. Everything.
Yeah, no.
Everything.
super scary.
Yeah.
They cook what you eat.
Yeah. Like you
So-
would bring me a book and they would deem it like, nope, this is not accepted literature for jail, for robot
No,
jail.
terrible.
Yeah, we're done.
No.
We are done. It's scared of flesh. YouTube is scared of, well, I mean, well, the algorithm. Honestly, there's not, because sometimes we treat it as like, there's this like dumb person somewhere in the world that's looking at our video right now
No.
and said, oh my God, flesh. Like this Puritan is saying flesh.
Report.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
no.
they just, they ¿cómo se dice? Se dan la bendición. They cross
They
themselves.
give a venue, no.
They cross them. I think it's crossing
yeah?
yourself. Yeah. I think I'm remembering. I haven't uttered those words since like I don't know, 4th grade. I feel. Yeah, crossing yourself.
No, I don't know.
I think so. I don't
Busqué
think I'm-
darse la bendición en inglés y obviamente la traducción es fatal. Dice be blessed. Pero pues,
No, but that's what a priest would say or something. Anyways, but it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So there goes the $6 that we're gonna get for this video. cross yourself. No? Did you put cross yourself to see if that's... We don't have a lot of Catholics in the chat.
Cross yourself. Oh, I think it is.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it looks like by the image.
Yeah.
Tell.
Yeah, although that one in the middle that looks like Samu, second row, far to the right. No, right next to that one, the left. Yeah, that one, from my view, it's like he's bleeding.
Yeah, and also it's like backwards.
Yeah. No. You start from your forehead and then you go to the center.
No, but the cross, like, it looks backwards.
Oh, like...
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, it's an upside down cross.
Well...
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Now they're gonna take the video.
Oh, yeah. Nudity and Satan. Anyways, Amy, I don't know if we bored you to death with that conversation, but happy birthday. You're an awesome painter, by the way. You're a very, very, very talented painter. So I don't think there's anything different than awesome success for you in the future. So happy birthday.
Gabriel Pozo dice, hola Dani, Nico y chat. Espero todo bien con las migrañas, Nico.
Todo lidiable. Eso fue como un non-answer.
Sí. No, y yo no sé cómo entenderlo.
Pues todo manejable. Ahora no sé qué tan grande hacer esto. Quiero hacerlo un poco más grande, pero no sé cuánto más grande. Vamos a ver. Mandémonos.
Max Ignatov said, no underdrawing today? That's scary.
No, you'll see. For what we're doing today, you'll see. I think it fits beautifully. It's going to be one of those...
they're called bobby pins. Oh.
Spoilers, Danny.
Oh, I'm
Hashtag.
sorry. No.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I thought you were trying to look for the word.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, you were...
I've been biting
I'm
my
sorry.
tongue for like 15 minutes.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So I don't know how big to make. Yeah, surprise is ruined.
I'm sorry.
So I'm making one of these little objects that I usually find.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, come on. That I think they're, completely just you stumble upon them in your everyday life. I mean, not my everyday life. I would have no use for this pin because I don't have any hair, or I have hair, but not in places where you would use a bobby pin. And you just, like I said the other day, I try not to set up still lifes, but kind of scavenge for still lifes. I much rather just see them in sort of their natural habitat and not just set something up. But that's just me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with setting something up. If you want like full control over your shapes and light and everything, like all the variables that are part of making a still life, for sure you have to pick your subject matter, and you have to pick how you from what angle you're looking at it, where's the direction of the light, how what are those shapes that are native to the object, and those shapes of light that are falling onto that object, or that the shapes of light that our lighting condition is allowing us to see in our object. Let's say that a little bit better. So there's a ton of virtue in just setting something up, but I'm just not good at it. I'm just really, really not good at it. I'm about to sneeze, but I held it in. So.
No, I know. I'm sorry.
No, oh come on! It's in like 5 minutes. It would have been very clear what it is. So.
Liet was asking, how do you like the M-gram paint?
I like it. It's kind of creamy, I would say, which is very, very weird for me because I usually am most at home with stiffer paint. So Michael Harding paint is a little bit stiffer, some of it at least. Rublev paint for sure is stiffer. Old Holland paint is for sure stiffer. I would say this is even butterier than some of the Winsor Newton artists. So, or maybe they're kind of the same. Like I said, probably the one reason that I'm not painting with a bunch of Michael Hardings or Rublevs or It's just that it would be way too expensive to order them and bring them over and paying taxes for them. It's just it doesn't make sense for me. I for sure could have a palette that's made up of those brands, but I don't know. There's like this student side of me that has never died, that when I see a really expensive color, I go like, I think that's too expensive. I just don't feel comfortable painting with something that's a little too expensive. So I don't know. It's like I remember one time, like a friend of mine was he was doing a test drive of a Porsche, and he was like, "Dude, you have to come in and drive. Like, you have to do that. You have to try this out." And I was like,
scared.
"I don't want to do it. I don't." Like, I just don't. I don't know. It's just not for me. Like, those super, super nice kind of bougie things, they're not for me because they make me uncomfortable. So yeah. So I'm kind of stupid that way, because I'll buy like a $600 statue. So I'm, for some things I'm like, oh hell yeah, I don't mind. For some reason, art materials, I've just never been able to feel okay when I treat myself, because it does feel like I'm treating myself instead of saying, oh, these are just better. These are just better materials for your painting. Your painting's going to be better. But then what that ignites is that other side of me that says, I don't need better materials to make a better painting. I can paint with like whatever paint I have. I'm not saying it like showing off. No, it's just that that's how I taught myself how to paint. So I always feel like if I start to favor paint that is very nice, I'm going to be betraying the things that I believe in, that I kind of had to teach myself when I was buying stuff here. So yeah, so I think that's the long answer to that.
Yeah, and I think this question goes hand to hand with what you said. Ari was asking, do you think the paint brand is important, and what paper are you using? And they say, my master.
Oh.
And like an emoji with like puppy eyes. I don't know how to describe it. It looks like puppy eyes, like puchero. I don't know.
Okay.
Or like sad eyes. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll answer, but yeah, you don't have to. You can just call me Nicholas. Yeah. Masters, Rembrandt. But aside from that, that's, we shouldn't use that word that kind of easily. So paper is the moleskin paper. That one, I mean, again, I shouldn't be, I think I betray myself in some of these, because moleskin as a sketchbook is a pretty expensive sketchbook if you think about it. I would say that's like I was saying like a bougie, like that's a bougie sketchbook.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I'm super inconsistent. Terrible teacher. But the paint matters. So yes, short answer, yes, of course it matters. Of course it matters. Like, we have like a couple of brands, Colombian brands. I'm not going to name them just to try and shame them.
I was going to name them again.
Oh, dude, look at Danny today with like the
spoiler Danny.
Yeah. But there's a couple of brands that are terrible. Yeah, they're just objectively terrible, and I'm sure that both Danny and I could paint with them. I'm pretty sure.
Because I was thinking that for the response, for next Monday,
yes,
I told you, like, you were going to the mall, and I told you I was running out of white.
Yeah.
White acrylic gouache.
Yeah.
And I needed gouache and acrylic.
Yeah.
To kind of make the.
Yeah. By the way,
something similar to.
We have to go to the mall for our art store, so that's why. Yeah.
It
just sounds
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Just sounded like.
Because we have
to the Gap.
Yeah. No, we have an art like a craft store. Would
Maybe,
you call
yeah. It has everything.
Yeah. And you got like the only brand that we have now available in that store for gouache, which is a terrible brand.
Yeah.
And
PBO, we can name that. I mean, that's not Colombian, so if we're gonna badmouth it, we could badmouth like an Italian brand. That's fine.
and the acrylic.
I think it's Italian PBO.
And I was gonna say it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Oh, the acrylic is like a Colombian one. I bought you like a
Well, also
Like,
I would have to say. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, like a craft acrylic.
Yeah, that was terrible.
No, it's not.
And the smell was weird.
Oh, yeah, I mean it's
Like-
bad, but it's.
Yeah,
And I told you that you could mix both.
yeah, no, and I did that.
You could literally make very cheap acrylic gouache.
Yeah, but I would say that I didn't use it for, like I did a big mix
Yeah.
for something that was like a plain color, because I didn't want to use it for like mixing more colors,
Right.
because I was afraid of how it would react with the other acrylic gouache.
it's fine.
So yeah, I just use it for like a big plain color I needed. So
I mean, pure speculation on my part, but I think it would be fun. Trying to search for a brush, but I don't know where it is.
Liad said, I got a gift card for Jersey Yard Tarama.
Oh, Jerry's Artorama.
Oh, well, it says
It
Jersey.
auto-corrected?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Jerry's. It's a good store.
And went to treat myself and was going to buy Michael Harding or Old Holland.
Nice.
And I nearly had a stroke when I saw
yeah.
the price.
You know what always happens with me, Liad? I take a little basket. I start putting a lot of stuff in there. I get to the line. I
And you
even get to
pay
the
one
cashier.
thing.
And then I start to take, okay, not this, because I'll tell the person at the cashier at the register, I'll be like, okay, this for sure. And then when I have like 4 things and they tell me like $278, I'm like, okay, not this, not this, not this.
And then you get nothing.
Yeah, no, a couple of things, and then you're down like $100.
So it says Pebeo is
Isn't it
from
Italian maybe?
Provence.
What?
French? Established in Saint Marcel, east of Marsella.
Okay, so it's French actually.
Yeah, in 1919.
Ooh la la. Maybe Jean knows.
Pebeo.
Maybe Jean knows about the brand. I want to do this.
Alejandro Morales was asking, Danny, why do you use acrylic gouache and not just gouache? And I'm going to be honest, because I ran out of my gouache. And I placed the order,
Okay. Good.
but it hasn't arrived. So when I had to do the first answer for the correspondence, I took the acrylic gouache that Nicolas bought. And I used that because that's what I had available. So it's not like I didn't choose acrylic gouache over just gouache for a specific reason, but because it was what I had in hand. So
That's the best reason.
yeah, like I'm being super, super honest.
As good as any.
Sergio G said, I've been using Pebeo Studio acrylics and it was so hard to get used to. My wife got me some golden for Christmas and I'm afraid to use it for some reason.
It's too good. It's too nice.
Ignacio Casas pregunta, ¿ha tenido relación con algún crítico que haya querido darle un enfoque intelectual / académico a su obra? ¿Algún ensayo o algo así?
De mis cosas, pues han escrito cosas, pero casi siempre le preguntan a uno sobre uno que está haciendo y como que hay veces toman notas, por ejemplo para notas de periódico o para cosas así. Pero no sé, yo creo que a mí me han visto es como pintor y ya. Y me siento totalmente satisfecho con eso. Pero no, yo creo que en Colombia hay artistas maravillosos que pues dentro de un campo conceptual son aportan muchísimo más de lo que yo le puedo aportar. Yo me siento súper bien diciendo que soy un pintor y ya, como, no sé, como un herrero me siento yo y soy pintor y ya. O como, no sé, las personas que hacen mochilas. O sea, yo me siento como mucho más cómodo con entenderme como un artesano que como una persona que pertenece como a una definición más contemporánea de lo que es un artista. Yo me siento más cómodo ahí. Y no es como por no querer lidiar con la responsabilidad, con la, no sé, pseudo responsabilidad que adquiere una persona cuando decide ser artista, sino que, no sé, siempre he sido como, o sea, siempre he sentido que la decisión de querer pintar pues ya está respondiendo un montón de cosas por mí y ya. Y puedo tener conversaciones acerca de lo que estoy tratando de hacer, seguro, seguro, ninguna de esas conversaciones, a ninguna de esas conversaciones le tengo susto, pero, pero no, yo creo que dentro del campo de lo que son las artes hoy en día, yo creo que los críticos se aburrirían súper rápido con mi trabajo. Y eso no está mal tampoco.
Uh, Jean Roussin
Ooh la la.
said,
Ooh la Jean. I don't know.
can you bring supplies back from the US or do you get taxes bringing them home?
No, you can. It's so ridiculous. We've often spoken about Danny. The last time that Danny came in, she had her iPad on her in her bag and her cell phone, and they stopped her and told her that how much they supposed they were trying to question Danny to see if she had bought the iPad and the iPhone just because they were, they're fishing for something that they could charge you on.
Yeah.
So if I would come in with a computer, for example, like a PC, like a gaming PC, a big tower, a PC, there's no way I can get through customs. Like, not a chance in hell. I could be wearing a small ring that is worth $3 million. Oh my God.
Nobody even knows.
Nobody cares. Nobody gives a crap. So, no, they are very arbitrary in how they judge what they feel, like how they interpret worth and value. But no, you can come with paint. That's totally fine. I usually try to buy paint every time I travel, just so that it's a little bit easier. Than easier and cheaper. Well, cheaper is never going to be, but easier at least than ordering it through whatever website you're ordering. So.
Yeah, and I didn't even have the iPad or the phone in the box that they came in.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm going to do that a million times. So.
No, I didn't know what you did.
Yeah, I just hit
heard
I'm going to hit
so.
I'm going to hit my head. I'm going to hit that cuz I put the what do you call it? The lens. Oh fuck.
Capucha?
Yeah, lens, not the cap. What do you call it? I forget now. Jesus.
I don't know the name in
who cares?
in English.
It doesn't matter. But I put it on the lens just so that it won't pick up the light coming from the sides, and so I'm gonna hit it all the time. For show.
Trying to look for the name of that?
Hood.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember. It's always somewhere in my brain. It's just...
Sí, Alejandro Morales dice hood.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, if I'm painting and talking,
Lens hood.
that's the one thing that I think dies super quickly. My ability to translate on the fly.
Well, I'm not painting and it dies in me every time I sit here for a stream. So, Murad Abu Ryan said, or Abu Rajan, maybe?
Maybe. If
said,
it's a J?
Double J.
Double J?
Abu guion Rajjan.
So I would say Ryan, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they can correct
Because
us.
the J, if it's a J, yeah.
They were saying, Nicolas, what do you think about using graphite transfer paper to transfer a photo onto a surface? I know if you can't draw really well, tracing won't save you, but the accuracy and speed is nice. No?
If those are two things that you value highly when you're making a painting, accuracy and speed, then sure, you know. I mean, the reasons that I have for painting shouldn't be the reasons. Is my head popping? Let me see if.
No.
Okay. So
No,
I could
it's
do
never.
this. No, okay, so I could do this better.
Okay.
So maybe it's the festival of testicle today because no,
No, you have to
my
explain.
cap was hitting my yeah that sounds.
Yeah.
So let's call it festicle.
No, that's terrible.
Did you get flagged by? Did I get flagged by?
Now,
YouTube
now
Yeah?
they're gonna close the channel.
Yeah, old guy and testicle.
No.
That's what the algorithm is saying. Like, oh my god.
Old naked guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, I'm not. I took off my cap that I had like backwards, like an idiot. But when I have it backwards, I hit all the cables that I have in the back. So
Yeah, but the joke was because
Oh right.
your
so
head
my
sticks.
head. Let me do this. That's my head.
and it
That's my
looks
kind of
weird.
Little bald head. And trust me, it just looks very strange when that head just creeps into frame. So, festival of testicle. Yeah. So
No.
we celebrate festival. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
What
But-
was the question? I forgot.
That
Oh, photos. Transferring photos. Yeah. So if speed and accuracy are the reasons are important reasons for you when you do a painting, sure. I mean, go ahead. The my reasons don't have to be the reasons for other people to paint. That's for sure. And I would say that I am in no place to question the reasons, behind why, other people paint. So if those are paramount for you, go ahead and do it. That's totally fine. For me, it would betray a lot of the things that betray is a tough word, but I'm going to use it. So it betrays a lot of the things that I love about, getting to know myself as a painter and as a draftsperson. So I much rather be inaccurate and fight through it and suffer through it and be frustrated like I was the other day with Fer's painting. I was very frustrated. I much rather feel that feeling and then try to do something about it than believe that accuracy is going to make that feeling go away. I don't want that feeling to go away. I really don't. So I just, it's like in life. You can't get rid of the things that make you feel bad. It's just knowing that they're going to be there and knowing how to deal with them. I think that's the important part. So yeah, but if it works for you, I'm sorry, what was their name again?
Sorry, let me check. Murad Abu Rajan or Rayan.
So what's the first name?
Murad. Murad?
Okay. So I'm sorry, and super sorry if we are mispronouncing your name. So if that works for you, that's awesome. More power to you. What works for you doesn't have to work for me or for anyone else. What works for me doesn't have to work for anyone else. So
Alejandro Morales was asking, Danny, yesterday the live stream was nowhere to be found. Did you stream? No, yesterday we didn't stream.
No, I'm sorry. I've been with recurrent headaches, and I apologize for that. So I thought I was going to be kind of useless if I was streaming and trying to talk through it. Like I could paint through a headache. That's okay, I feel. And I know that sounds like, oh my God, why paint? Just lie down. No. I still wanted to paint. I feel bad if I don't paint. And this is not like, don't worry. Like this is not like I'm imposing this responsibility with our channel or with you guys. No. This is like a me thing. Like I just feel, I always feel better if I paint. So it's one of those things. So I tried to paint at my own pace yesterday. I think I probably took around 6 hours to do the painting that I did yesterday. And it's not better or worse than anything else. But I just, I allowed myself way more time. I was far more patient with myself. I probably did festicle throughout the whole painting. It's
Well,
probably
but there was no camera, so
there was no camera,
no
so
festival.
it's very, when you have a camera on top of you for 400 paintings, it's very nice when you don't. I'll just say that. I'll just say that very honestly. It's very, very nice when you don't. So yeah, so we didn't do a video yesterday.
Sergi Arts dice, nah, ni te disculpes. And Alejandro Morales said, oh, I'm sorry for that. Feel better, Nick.
Oh, it's all better. It's all better. We just, that's why we're trying to change our setup a little bit, our lighting setup, and to see if we could get more light on the painting, which means that my eyes don't have to strain so much.
And how do you feel it?
I think
right
better.
now?
I think better.
Because in camera it looks super good.
Yeah, I think I can't deny it. It's better. It's actually a lot better. I don't know how it reads for the camera, or for other people, if they notice. I don't know if people notice the difference even, but.
Liad said, Nicolas, are you okay? Is Danny forcing you to paint when you don't feel well? Put a
Never.
black dot in your palm if you need help. No, of course
never.
no.
She's actually the first person that tells me to not do anything. So, no.
Murad
I know it was a joke. I know it was.
Yeah,
a joke.
yeah. Murad Abu Rayyan said, no worries. Even my mom mispronounces my name sometimes.
So
Thanks for answering.
So write to us and tell us how it's pronounced. Try to write it out.
Is it Murad?
Or Murad or.
Because I know there's a brand that's called Murad, and I think that's the way you pronounce it.
Oh, I have brand of what? I have no idea.
Of skincare.
Oh, okay.
So. Van Sant said,
Bonsoir, Vincent.
hi, Danny and Nicolas. Hi, Van Sant. Maisha thinks that you don't know Lunella Lafayette, but I can't imagine that you could be ignorant of the strongest superhero. Do you think she can beat all the supervillains? I have to say I don't.
And this is for you, Danny, or this is
no,
for me?
for both.
Okay, so you start, and I know that when you start, you're gonna Google.
I just did, so I can't, cause I didn't know the superhero.
Oh my God, Maisha, you're gonna kill me, but I didn't know of her.
No, me neither.
But Maisha, you know why? Because I'm old. Because I'm old and boring. But I'll promise you this, Maisha. I will read. I will find a way. Let's not speak about the way that I'm gonna find a way to do this. But I'll read about her. I'll download some comic books and read about her. And next video we'll talk about her, because she seems amazing. I don't even know what her superpowers are, but she looks amazing. But I promise you, this is like, I keep my promises. Promise you that next video, we'll speak about her. I feel super embarrassed. I had
Yeah.
never seen her.
And it's a Marvel Comics.
I know.
So
There's this character that's going to be in the Multiverse of Madness.
mm-hmm.
That's called America something. I think she's like a Latin character.
Mm-hmm.
America, I don't know. And I had never, and she's like supposed to be super powerful. Like she can make portals and travel through dimensions, I feel. Like she's way, way powerful. Way more powerful than I would have guessed. And I had never in my life heard of her. So
Sergi Arts dice América Chávez.
yeah, so and she's gonna be, I think, like a super important part of that movie. So yeah. Again, Maisha, old and boring, like your dad. That's
They were saying, Van Sant was saying, boo.
I know, but give me a chance to make it better. Give me a chance. Like, I promise you, I'll read about her.
Oh, so Murad said, Nick said my name right. It's Murad.
Okay.
And the last
Murad.
name is Abu. Es RAI-Jan. ¿Cómo pronunciarías? Así nos dijo.
So,
Abu.
Raijan.
En inglés se leería así. Ray.
No,
Or
no,
Rayyan.
no. Because where are
they're
you
saying-
from? If you don't mind me asking.
Because they're correct. They're saying, and the last name is Abu. Ray. Dash. No. How, ¿Cómo se llama el
Yep.
guión?
Dash. You're
Dash Yan. 2 Y's, not J.
good. Raijan or Raijan?
Because I think
Rayyan.
Rayyan is super like the Spanish way of reading
Yeah.
it, but they're explaining it in English. So maybe it's Rayyan.
Yeah, but I
Ryan?
don't think it's, you read it as in English. I'm pretty sure.
No, because it's,
So that's why
it's
I'm
spelled
asking.
in another way,
Yeah, yeah.
and
but-
they were trying to say how it's pronounced.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I told you how would you pronounce that if you were reading it in English.
Oh, okay, I get you. But
Oliver OJM said, I'm bad at learning languages, but want to learn Spanish. Any
you should.
unconventional tips?
Unconventional tips for Spanish? Ooh. Do you have Spanish-speaking friends? Although that's pretty conventional, I would say. Because that's the easiest way, I feel, when you just try to converse with people that speak that language. Unconventional for Spanish. I don't know. I think the usually for Spanish, usually if you learn the sound of the letters, you can sound the words out. It's not the same as in English. English is all messed up. All sorts of messed up. Like in Spanish, we don't have stuff like, you know in English how EA can sound E or EA can sound A? Like, well, no. Mead or med, So EA can sound or EA can sound E. We don't have that sort of stuff in Spanish. Like, an A sounds like an A, an E sounds like an E, an I sounds like an I, O the same, U the same. We don't have, whenever we mix vowels, you just have to go one and then the other.
Yeah.
Like it won't affect how you say them. So we have double C's that sound like X's. That's kind of weird. Double L's that sound like
Why?
J's.
Oh, J's?
Like J's. Yeah. J. Javi. J.
No, es que yo digo, why? ¿No es why?
No, why? No, because why in English? Like, think about it.
Why is J?
No.
No?
Like, hey.
No, pero la letra no se dice why.
Oh, Y
Sí.
is J,
Por
but
eso.
J is J.
O sea, estabas diciendo que las doble L suenan a
A
J.
Well,
Suenan a
an,
Y.
no, but for an English speaker,
Ah,
because we're talking to them.
No, es que yo
Danny got
decía,
confused. Yeah.
no, I was like, o sea, pensé
I know,
que
because
why
they sound. It
estabas
sounds.
diciendo, o sea, que todo lo que yo sabía de inglés, o sea, en mi cabeza, por un momento, todo lo que sabía de
No,
inglés se cayó,
Danny
pensando
was
que tú decías-
translating what I was saying to the sounds in Spanish. What I was saying, I'm saying for like an English speaker. So.
Okay.
So just read things. Like if you learn the sound of the letter, you're good. You're almost halfway there.
Oliver said, you're making it sound really hard, haha.
No, it's like super easy. Like A sounds A.
Ah.
E, the E sounds E. The I sounds E. The O, U, U. I mean, that's super easy. Our vowels are like super clear, simple.
But I get Oliver. I mean, if they are just starting,
yeah,
maybe
but it's
hearing
not like
you would be.
yeah, but it's not like Alejandro saying how
Yeah,
weird German
they're
is.
because Alejandro and Ivan were saying some things in German, and I'm not even going to try.
You should. You should. This is the moment where you can try.
But
You're in a safe place.
But I'm gonna translate first.
I'm sure they're not saying anything weird.
Oh, they were saying, "How are you?"
Gut.
No. ¿Qué? Trata de leerlo tú.
Pero es que no me puse gafas.
No,
I can't even see it.
A ver, mira.
No, if I have my glasses, I can see it, but I can't. Oh, okay. Wie geht es dir? Wie geht es dir? Wie geht es dir, Alejandro?
Pues it would be Alejandro, no? Not Alejandro,
but I'm German right there.
I was also going to say to Oliver, I don't know if you knew
Jeffers?
that. No. Oliver OGM that was asking about Spanish tips.
Yeah.
I remember I heard some people in the university
Yeah.
that talked about a place here in Colombia. So I don't know if you have something like that where you live. And here it was called a Gringo Tuesday. It was like in a bar. And you went to speak English. So you would go, and depending on your level of English, you can go to different tables with like Native American speakers, and you could talk and like have a beer or eat something while you were talking. So
native language American speakers. Yeah, it's just that Native American is like indigenous to America.
So, yeah, maybe that's something that maybe is available where you live too. Maybe. I mean, I don't think it's that usual to have that kind of things.
Sounds like a drink and draw, like those people that go
kind of. But I thought that was cool. I mean, if you wanted to practice and you really don't have with like people to talk English to, or if you don't want to talk to people because maybe you
hate them,
you're like ashamed or like nervous to
talk to your classmates,
to talk to them, you can practice there. So that was cool. Alejandro Morales dice super Nico.
Uy, danke.
Dijo algo más que no sé leer. Ser gut, danke und dir.
Uy, ¿hundir a quién?
¿Qué significa? A ver. Very good, thank you, and you. Estaba diciéndote.
Gut.
So, Murad said Murad, because they said it was pronounced like MOO dash Rod, R-O-D. So Murad.
I'm gonna go with the R like we say it.
Murad.
I have a feeling it's closer to how you pronounce their name.
They were saying, I was born in Bethlehem, Palestine, and came to Texas when I was 8. If we ever meet, we can all sit in a circle and practice pronunciations.
That's awesome. Next time we're in Texas, we'll let you know.
I opened something.
For everyone to see?
No. Like I clicked by accident. I was gonna click the OBS and I clicked the Focusrite logo, but no, it's fine.
Or tax documents.
I was sharing the tax documents on the screen. I'm sorry.
Well, we filed for them yesterday. Paid them off.
Marciel Panther said, are there any typical comics for the Spanish folk? In the Netherlands, we had Tintin, aka Cuivge. Cuivge? I'm sorry. And Susky and Whiskey. Also Asterisk and Obelix.
the
yeah,
best.
we know that.
I am a huge fan of Asterix and Obelix.
But Colombian.
Um, No. I mean, it's very sad. I mean, there has been...
Yeah, and I'm
like comic strips, I would say. Comic strips. But
we also have comic strips here that are not from here.
No.
Here,
But there has been like Colombian artists doing comic strips, for sure. But that I think they are... I don't know. I don't think they would be things that people... I don't know. I wouldn't recommend them to people. And they're like older ones also that are like racist. So, you know, I guess older times, but you know, that's the that's the oversimplification of a racist of those racist issues. But yeah, they so I wouldn't even mention any of those. Yeah, no.
Because we used to had in the newspaper Mafalda, but that's from Argentina.
That's Argentina. No, Argentina
and
has
Condorito, which is from Chile.
Which is Chileno. So there are Latin ones that are great. You could read Condorito if you want like a slice of life in a very Latin in a very Latin culture. It has great characters. Like I grew up with that, reading that, and I love it. I mean, I don't buy it anymore, but I still have a lot of love for that strip. Yeah, but Mafalda is amazing.
Yeah.
Everything by Kino he was a genius. He was an absolute genius. And I used to read when I was young. Again, I don't know if this probably would get canceled very quickly today. Fontana Rosa for sure, but Fontana Rosa for me is a genius. He was an absolute genius. So I used to read Boogie el Aceitoso. But if you read Boogie el Aceitoso, he's a character that is like raunchy and sexist. He's like a pig, like a chauvinist pig. He's ultra violent. There's so many things. He's like racist. So many things. So many things.
And you read that when
I was little.
What age?
I don't know. 10, 11.
Terrible.
It's terrible. But Fontana Rosa is such a genius. I'm not trying to... Because Boogie was a character. Like, he was a hideous character. And you knew that that there was something wrong. You knew that you were reading something that was wrong. It's not that you wanted to empathize with Boogie. So, I don't know. Do we have people from Argentina that maybe are listening to us that... Because
Here, acá está una persona que se llama Julián Rodríguez que dijo saludos de Argentina.
Entonces, de pronto, Julián nos puede decir, si de pronto, si Julián es como más o menos mi generación, como hoy en día cómo se entiende Boogie o hoy en día cómo se entiende Fontana Rosa.
Porque Julián estaba diciendo el Eternauta.
El Eternauta, pero eso es o Mortzinder, que son increíbles. No, es que Argentina obviamente tiene una historia más europea en cuanto a como novelas gráficas, pero me da curiosidad qué pasa localmente con Boogie.
Miguel Fonseca dice, yo amaba a Boogie el aceitoso, es
Gracias,
pura
Miguel.
ironía.
Pues sí, Miguel, pero, o sea, si usted, yo no sé si lo ha vuelto a leer y además Fontana Rosa para mí es un genio, o sea, como escritor es un genio, pero, o sea, obviamente es machista, sexista, racista, es terrible y es ultra, ultra violencia. Entonces, de pronto es a ese nivel de sátira que uno dice, ya, ya, o sea, sí estoy dispuesto a leerlo, pero yo creo que sí, o sea, si hoy en día hubiera una persona interesada en hacer una tira cómica así, yo no creo que existiría. Yo no creo que Boogie podría existir por más de que uno lo asocie con eso.
No estoy buscando.
Pero yo debo decir que yo amaba a Boogie. O sea, y nunca, o sea, las creencias de Boogie no eran las mías, pero,
Pero
pero era un personaje, o
sí,
sea, uno estaba leyendo un canalla, a un absoluto, a una basura canalla, y no sé, de pronto cuando uno, pues cuando yo era chiquito, preadolescente, me fascinaba como que existiera como un ser humano tan exagerado, un personaje tan exagerado, porque esas cosas como que le atraen a uno cuando uno es como más joven. Pero no, 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 nada de eso o sea, nada, yo creo que nada de Boogie se reflejaba en mí.
estoy viendo, busqué como tiras cómicas colombianas
Mm,
y dice Copetín,
sí, pésimo.
Los Monos, que era como Copetín y los amigos, al
Ah,
parecer.
pésimo.
Sí, pero es que hay otras que sí son muy como controversiales.
Sí, sí.
Entonces sí.
¿Para qué mencionarlas?
¿Para
¿Para qué?
qué? Sí, no, empecé a leer los nombres y pues mejor no.
Y además, ni siquiera eran chéveres. Entonces, no es como que, uy, esto está mal, pero era muy nuestro y que le generan a uno como un dilema. No, ni siquiera. O sea, no.
Julián Rodríguez dice, soy del 90, sí es súper despreciable el personaje y Fontana Rosa es súper amado en Argentina.
Bueno, entonces, digamos que ese es uno de los. Pero yo, de nuevo, sostengo que hoy en día no creo que una tira cómica así, por más de que la hiciera alguien tan genial como Fontana Rosa, yo no
No
creo que
es
la gente le
justificable.
daría, como que lo entendería como es un personaje. Porque es que en los cómics hay personajes canallas también y re oscuros. O sea, en los cómics hay resto de personajes que son terribles. Mm, pero, pero no sé, yo creo que sería complicado. Que me da mucha tristeza, pero también me da mucha felicidad saber que pudo ser parte de mi vida, porque seguramente dentro de las cosas, de las razones por las que soy artista, tiene que ser Fontana Rosa desde de tener esa opción de leerlo y de ver los dibujos, porque además es un dibujante monstruoso, Fontana Rosa. Em, eh, una de las razones, estoy 100% seguro que es él.
Sí, Julián Rodríguez dice, claramente era otra época, a estas alturas probablemente estaría cancelado.
Sí, sí, o no lo imprime nadie.
Y Miguel
Nadie se
Fonseca
atreve.
dice, hoy en día no saldrían los periódicos, entonces
Sí,
sí.
sí. Bueno, ¿quién lee tiras cómicas de periódico hoy en día, no?
Mi
Eso es,
abuelo
pues, o
le
sea,
encanta.
bueno, ¿qué nuevas generaciones? Sí.
Sí, aparte de mi abuelo Manolo, no sé. Pero a mi abuelo sí le encanta. Tanto que yo
Pero,
me acuerdo que yo en una época, estando chiquita, le recorté una tira cómica, era de Mafalda, y decían Manolito. O
ujú,
sea, era un recuadro donde decía Manolito y se lo pegué en la puerta. Y yo creo que lo tuvo en la puerta como hasta que yo tenía como 20 años.
¿pero le gustó o no se dio cuenta?
No, le pareció divino. O
Ah,
sea, y lo dejó ahí puesto por mucho tiempo.
bueno.
Muy bonito. Hasta que mi abuela dijo que creo
¿Qué es esa
como,
porquería?
como,
Quite esa
no, no,
porquería,
no,
lleva ahí
no, a mi
20
abuela
años.
también le gustaba, pero es que creo que la cinta iba a pelar la puerta. O
Sí.
había pelado la puerta o algo así.
Toda
Entonces,
amarilla por el sol.
sí.
Horrible.
Ahí se ve el cosito, el festival. Fue tierno. Se
Uy,
vio tierno.
tan... Y eso que no me estaba ni acercando.
No, pero se vio muy poquito. O sea, parecía como algo, no sé, algo raro. La Burnham Party
Mm.
said, I was just watching your other lives and saw that you were on now. I'm a huge fan of your amazing work.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Liad was asking, did you watch Dark in German or in English?
Oh, Deutsche.
German.
Deutsch. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we usually, I think with movies, we always pick the
The original language.
yeah. I don't like to hear dubs.
I would have to say that I would only hear the dub if it's from a Disney movie,
Yeah.
because that's how I watched them when I was a kid. And for example, The Simpsons, I think it's way better in Spanish. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
everyone, but it is.
I've always told you it's not it that
It
was
is.
the feeling when I went to study, when I first saw them like in English for the first time in my life. I was like, what is this? This is horrible. And then when you start to realize that there's so much of the writing that is very tough to translate. I mean, they're geniuses, the people that translate it, regardless, because they try to make like a joke out of nothing, like
Mhm.
something nonsensical. But a lot of the writing, it's completely lost. So yeah, good Simpsons, you have to. I
But-
know the transition is very, very difficult,
But also, for example, I love
Lucy.
no, I love SpongeBob in Spanish, because
Oh,
that's
really?
how I learned to love SpongeBob.
Right.
Like that's what we get here.
Yeah, but I promise
so
you, like,
for
if-
me, like SpongeBob's voice is the one in Spanish, because I've seen it in English and I like it in English, but I feel the Spanish version of SpongeBob more attached to my heart than the other one.
yeah,
So
they're it's a good translation of the voice, I feel. No, don't you feel?
it's a what? Sorry.
Like both in the Spanish version is a good effort. It's a good translation of what it's
Yeah.
what SpongeBob sounds like originally.
Yeah, and I like more the voice in Spanish. Like they're similar, but like the tone, like the I don't know, the pitch of the voice,
Mm-hmm.
I like it more in Spanish.
He's more annoying, I feel.
No,
Yeah.
in English, he's more annoying, I think. Common user 123 said Shrek in Spanish is the definitive best version. Nothing compares to that dub. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I have it in my I know it in my brain, but I don't know.
No? 'Cause
No,
I-
it's just for no. I was damaged, I guess, from my time in the U.S. that I
Maybe.
because I associated with the actor, like Mike Myers did the voice, and Eddie Murphy was the donkey. So I don't know. It's very hard for me not to want to hear those voices or those interpretations. It's like Toy Story in Spanish. It's very good.
Yeah, very
It's
good.
actually very good. But I don't know if it's like Tom Hanks and Tim Allen good, because they're good. They're very good.
But
as
I would
voice
say,
actors.
again, I would say that in my heart, I have Toy Story in Spanish, not in English. Like, I like it in English, but I love it in Spanish. So, yeah. Marciel Panther said, no, the Dutch SpongeBob is the most perfect.
So to each their own.
Yeah.
Yep.
Common user 123 said, Nico, watch Shrek 2 in Spanish. It'll convert you. It's hilarious.
No, I think I've seen them. What? I was gonna try to do Shrek, but
No, and the voice of Burro?
yeah, Burro's funny.
Yeah.
Sí, Burro's funny. Yeah.
No, everything. Yeah, I like that translations a lot. For example, we saw Encanto in Spanish.
Yeah, I feel that one was it made no difference, I feel.
Coco in Spanish and in English.
I saw it in English.
I saw both of them.
Yeah, no, I saw it in English. It's pretty good in English.
And in Spanish too. Because I think they do a good job in translation. Like in...
They kind of have to, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you kind of have to.
But there's like other series. And I'm sorry for all the people from Spain. But I have
horrible.
to say that, yeah.
Their dubs are horrendous.
Yeah. If it's like a Latin American translation, I think they're
always.
super good.
Yeah, always
But the
pick.
Spanish one
If you pick translations,
from Spain, yeah, they are...
never put just Spanish. No, go Latin.
Yeah.
If you look for the language in whatever, like a Blu-ray, whatever, never. If you see Spanish, do yourself a favor. Don't ever. It is horrendous.
Yeah.
Go with Latin. Yeah, 100%. Trust everyone in this world.
Yeah.
Nobody. Every time you know something and you hear it in Spanish, oh my
Like
God.
Spain Spanish.
It just makes
Yeah.
everything worse.
Yeah. And they changed the names of everything.
Oh, nothing
they
makes
go
sense.
For the super weird
Nothing makes
route.
sense.
I mean, it's not like I don't have like an exact example in my head.
No, because the examples are horrible. Like they're nonsensical. The thing is, with Latin translations, let's call them that because that's what the formally that's what they are. We always try to go for literal. We say, okay, this is the direct translation. It makes sense. Makes perfect sense. The only reason you would translate it differently is because if it's just a made up word or if it's an expression that we just can't translate word for word. But if you can translate it word for word,
Why would you change it?
Yeah. Be sure that in the Latin translations, in the Latin language, it's going to be word for word. Spanish people, they do whatever the hell they want. They do. They rewrite the whole thing. They rewrite it. They don't care. They're like, it's for us to interpret.
So, for example, I'm looking in Google and it says, the Naked Gun
Okay, that's an old one, but yeah.
was here in Latin America, La Pistola Desnuda, which is the same,
Actually,
but
it
in
wasn't.
Spanish. It says here.
No, it was ¿Y dónde está el policía?
Ah.
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't.
Ay, no, y acá dice, en algunos lugares de Latinoamérica, la tradición ¿y dónde está?
Es que ¿y dónde está era...
Y acá es agárralo como puedas en España.
Sí, no.
But for example, this one. It says it's a Disney movie that's called The Ice Princess. And in Spain, it was... I'm going to translate in what says in Spanish to English. So the name in Spain was Dreaming, I Succeed Skating.
Yeah, what the... come on.
Soñando, triunfé patinando.
When you can call it the Ice Prince, La Princesa del Hielo.
Yeah.
That's it. You're fine.
So,
don't overthink it.
So, for example, The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Eterno Resplandor.
De una mente sin recuerdos.
Sí.
Yeah. In Spain, Olvídate de mí. Which means forget about me.
No, come on. You got to translate
why?
that word for word because that has that has a rhythm to that that you have to translate.
And that's how we got it here. It was...
Oh, I always called it Eterno Resplandor. Like I made it shorter, but it's the same thing.
But forget about me? Like, why?
Well, you understand. Well, it makes sense
no.
with the plot of the movie, but it just doesn't make sense.
But I mean, the people who created the movie wanted to give that specific title because of a reason.
Right.
So it's not like, I don't think it's good for you to be like, oh, I saw the movie and I think we can use this title.
What's Moana called? Do you
Uh,
remember? Moana? They have another name for her. It's like, dude, it's called Moana. That's her name. Moana. Like, that is literally her name.
Eh,
Because I know that they have a different name. I know it 100%. Pues
Vaiana.
Baiana. What are you doing? Like, why?
Why? Yeah.
Literally nobody. It's like that meme. It's
Nobody?
Like nobody. It's like Moana. That's her name. What are you calling it? Moana.
Yeah.
That's her name. That's her name. It's Moana. It's like Spaniards. Vaiana.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Nobody asked you. It's
Yeah.
like, why are you doing that? I'm telling you.
Germán Rodríguez.
It is the colonial. You can't take away the colonial blood.
Germán Rodríguez said, Die Hard in Spain is La Jungla de Cristal. Like,
What? Oh my God. Oh, that's ridiculous.
Andrés Ortiz dice, yo creo que los Simpsons en castellano son
Sí.
el mejor doblaje. En latino cambian más los nombres.
No,
En latino no.
¿En latino cambian los nombres?
¿De
no. Homero,
quién?
Marge.
Homero,
no.
Marge, Lisa,
Lisa,
Bart,
Maggie, Bart, Nelson.
Apu.
Ah, pero de pronto el de la policía. ¿Tú cómo le dices al de la policía?
Es que estoy pensando en
Espera.
el que tú me dijiste. Es Gregory.
No, pero
¿Sí?
sí es, pero... Sí, es que yo no me lo sé en español, yo no me lo sé, la verdad.
No, no es... Ay, no, ¿qué dije?
¿Ya te volviste española o qué?
Yo no sé qué dije.
Pero Barney es Barney.
Barney es... Barney, sí. A ver, espera.
Por ejemplo, Principal Skinner, el del colegio. Estás ahogando, ¿no?
No,
Te
no,
estoy
no,
mandando-
no, es que estoy tratando de acordarme el nombre porque no me acuerdo.
Pero Skinner.
Espera,
¿Skinner era
espera.
Skinner?
Sí. Sí. Ay, Gorgory. Yo es que
No.
Gregory, qué vergüenza.
Bueno, no. pero-
Gorgory.
sí, pero no.
Sí,
Es que en español, en inglés es Chief Wiggum.
sí,
Porque él es
Gorgory.
Ralph Wiggum. ¿Y Ralph es Ralph Gorgory?
Sí.
No, qué horrible.
Me
Eso sí
le va
está muy
mejor
mal.
Gorgory.
No, Ralph Wiggum.
Oh, so I think we have an answer for
Yeah.
changing the Moana.
¿Por qué es
Cutie,
hawaiana?
Cutie-
¿Hawaiana?
no, Cutie Sketch said they changed Moana's name in Europe because Moana is a famous porn star name or something, but nobody knows that. So maybe? But like I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't change
get,
the name.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't change the name. I mean, I think worldwide, if you say Moana, worldwide,
you think about the movie, yeah.
you think about that character, the Disney character. Is it Moana like in moaning? Moana?
No.
I don't know. I mean, that would be amazing, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the reason.
Andrés Ortiz dice el inspector
Gadget.
Anchundia y el jefe Gorgory, ja 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 ja.
El inspector Anchundia. ¿Qué es eso?
Pero el jefe Gorgory tiene cara de jefe Gorgory.
No, es Wiggum.
No.
Chief Wiggum.
Pues, pero es que tú lo veías en inglés.
Pero yo me crié bien, o sea, yo me crié viéndolo en español y por eso te digo que para mí la transición a inglés fue súper rara. O sea, yo me acuerdo viendo Fox la primera vez en mi vida en un televisorcito chiquitico y yo decía, uy, los Simpsons. Y de repente yo era como, ¿qué está pasando? ¿por qué me le están haciendo esto a los Simpsons? Y no, pues con 6 meses ya como que dije, no, esto está mucho mejor, obviamente.
A ver, mira, dice, encontré una página que dice personajes que cambian de nombre entre la versión latina y española de Los Simpsons. Entonces,
Dime el de español y a ver si yo puedo decir el de inglés.
no,
Aunque yo
el
no...
de España, o sea, es español,
Ah, español y latino.
ajá, pero pues,
Castellano
y tú me
y
dices la
latino.
versión gringa.
A ver,
Bob Patiño.
Sideshow Bob.
Y en España es actor secundario Bob.
Ah, Sideshow, pero bueno, sí, pues, bueno.
Profesor Brinco.
¿What? ¿Quién es? No tengo idea.
Profesor Frink.
¿Cuál? Ah, el científico. Ay, ¿cómo es que se llama? Nah, no me acuerdo.
Inspector Archundia.
Ah, pero él tampoco me acuerdo
Ahí
cómo
dice
es.
Superintendente Chalmers.
Bueno, así debe ser.
Se salió, espera. El reverendo Alegría.
Reverend Joy. No sí, creo que se llama Reverend Joy.
Pues dice reverendo Timothy Lovejoy.
Ah, Lovejoy, sí.
Pues Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela.
¿Qué? A Nelson, el apellido de Nelson
Es Mandela.
en español es Mandela.
No.
No.
Ahí dice. Mira.
Pero en el personaje no es Nelson Mandela.
Pues dice que en ambas, mira. Que además yo nunca vi el... No.
What?
Mira, Nelson Mandela Mons, Nelson Mandela Rufino.
What? Is Nelson's last name in The Simpsons Nelson Mandela? What?
Ahora no creo.
No.
Sí, Nelson Mandela Mons. Is a
Nelson
fictional
Mandela
character.
Muntz? What?
Sí.
Oh my god. I never knew that.
Yo tampoco sabía.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that anymore.
Sí, es raro.
But there's gotta be a reason. There's gotta be a reason.
Margo Delgado dice, creo que en España cambiaron Moana porque era el nombre de un gel de baño bastante conocido.
No, pero al fin, ¿qué? Estamos entre gel de baño y actriz porno.
Sí,
No. ¿O la actriz porno tenía su marca de gel de baño?
de pronto. Gu said this also happens in Portugal. Eternal Sunshine became O Despertar da Mente.
Bueno.
But no. El eterno resplandor de una mente sin recuerdos.
Pero, bueno, el despertar, pero al menos está cerquita. No es como el otro que era, no sé, ni me acuerdo.
Forget me, something
Sí,
like that. Like,
olvídate
don't
de
forget.
mí.
Sí. Rago Design said in Italian, Semilasi ti
What?
cancelo.
What?
Wait, ¿cómo se lee? Ya te lo
No
muestro.
sé.
Ya te muestro.
Oye, no
Oh, so that's the translate for the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. ¿No tienes qué?
No, mi regla, la de metal.
Yo la tengo. Ya te
Ah.
la traigo.
También me la sacaste como...
No, te la pedí en estos días. ¿Te acuerdas para cortar?
Puede ser. No, pero no, tranqui.
It says, if you leave me, I delete you. Esa es la traducción de...
Wow, that's... I mean, again, I kind of get it why, but that's very strange. Danny headed out. She's gonna bring me my ruler. Let's see if we could do some rule. No, la mía está perfecto. Gracias. Gracias.
So how would you pronounce it, Luke?
Se mi lasci ti cancello.
Cancello.
Cancello. And SC is sh. Lasci.
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 La Shiva. Ay. Ignacio Casas dice, Wigum es muy extraño para el español. No tenemos casi palabras que comiencen con W. De pronto.
No.
Sí,
Pero-
creo que ahí estamos justificando.
Pero es que ya
El
estamos,
cambio.
ya estamos más tranquilos poniendo nombres propios como los nombres que son.
Para mí lo mejor es Popeye. Yo no podía, yo te conté, yo no podía creerlo cuando fui por primera vez a los parques en Estados Unidos.
Fue tu momento donde
Me di cuenta que Popeye en inglés era Popeye y entendí
Mm.
que Popeye viene de Popeye. O sea que en inglés tiene sentido el nombre.
pues sí, pero créeme, o sea, te
En
lo
mi
digo,
cabeza fue como
creo que nadie, cuando uno lee Popeye, uno lee Popeye. O sea, en inglés no piensa en que es un ojo.
no, pero tiene sentido, ¿sí me entiendes? O sea,
Sí.
en mi cabeza yo decía, o sea, Popeye es como decir Roberto, cualquier nombre.
Mm.
Nunca me imaginé que venía de un ojo. O sea, no. Para mí fue como de esos momentos que me cambió la vida.
Como el Big Vaporub que tienen todas las personas. Pues yo me
¿Qué?
incluyo.
¿Qué?
Big Vaporub,
¿Qué tiene?
pues que es Vicks Vapor Rub.
Eso sí sabía.
Por eso, nadie nunca en Colombia, en la historia de Colombia, sabía.
Sí,
Solo
porque
hasta que un
en la
colombiano
marca
viajaba.
dice.
Sí, pero todo el mundo, mi mamá me echaba Big Vaporub y era ni siquiera Big Vaporub, no, era Big Vaporub.
Pues
Incluso
sí,
yo le quitaba la B,
Sí,
Big
yo era
Vaporub,
Big Vaporub.
Big Vaporub, Big
Sí,
Vaporub.
pero uno veía en la caja, en la
No.
coquita el nombre.
No, pero
Sí.
pues sí, pero no, o sea, yo nunca en mi vida y cuando fui a Estados Unidos fue como, y creo que oía a alguien Vicks Vapor Rub y yo decía, no sea tan hijo de puta. Esto es lo que
Y-
es. Un rub. Sí, increíble.
Mi prima dice Popeye es toda una revelación, jajaja. Sí, no, eso para mí fue de verdad. Mi
Pero
vida
es mejor
tiene un antes y un
asociarlo
después.
con Popeye y ya.
Popeye, sí, pero para mí sigue siendo un nombre. No, sí, no sé. Lo mismo acá el rompoint. Ese yo también
No, pero
supe mucho
ese no
después.
gana.
No,
El
pero
que más gana es el ponqué.
¿pon qué?
Pound cake.
Eso no sabía yo.
Sí,
¿Pon qué viene de pound cake?
de pound cake.
¿Y
Ese
cómo
está
se
grande, ¿o
degeneró
no?
tan
Ponqué, pound cake, pues un ponqué.
pound cake, me imagino? Luego pound cake, sí, fatal. No, ese no sabía.
Pound cake.
O sea, obviamente había oído pound cake, pero no,
Pound cake es ponqué.
no sabía.
Sí, sí. Ese es, para mí es el que gana, yo creo. Ponqué es una torta para los que hablan español pero no saben colombiano. Es una torta.
Mi prima dice, oh, el pound cake tampoco me lo sabía. El carriel, dice mi prima, viene de carry all, by the way. Tampoco sabía eso, el carriel.
Sí,
Carriol.
sí, sí.
Margo Delgado dice, acabo de enterarme de lo de Popeye. Sí, no, eso para mí fue absurdo. Miguel Fonseca dice, un momento sonó más.
Otros, hay muchos momentos, en la historia latina creo que hay muchos momentos son nomás.
Alejandro Morales dice, imagínate a un no hispanoparlante escuchar y entender el nombre de Dolores.
Sí, So we have, so this is good for like English speakers. We have names in Spanish, like we were bred from suffering. We were. And we have like, and they're all women's name, which is probably the saddest thing in the
Yeah.
world. But for women, the old names, these are not super common names like nowadays, because I think people realized these are horrendous and we just can't call a little girl. For example, a woman that was part of my family, her name was Solitude. Soledad.
Yeah,
Solitude.
and that's a usual name.
That's
it's
a
not
very-
like a
Yeah, but it's, again, new generations. They're like, I'm not calling my daughter Solitude. Like,
Yeah.
no. And we have one that's Dolores, pains. Por favor, ayúdenme.
Sí, estoy
Soledad, Dolores.
well, it's not a sad one,
Yeah,
but it's a very weird one.
which is what?
Tránsito.
Well, no. But I'm looking
No,
for
but-
words that are like.
But try to translate that. I mean, that's so weird.
Yeah,
Why
but that's
would
not
you
a
call?
common. But that's not a common name. Like the only thing with that one is that I would say that's not a common.
But
name.
I've heard
Yeah, but it's
some
not like Soledad or
tránsitos.
Dolores. Piedad, piety, piedad, like have pity on me. Pity,
América Viridiana Alvarado Sánchez
pity,
dice hope, esperanza.
esperanza. But hope, at least it's a good one. But like solitude, pity,
No se me ocurre ningún otro.
pains.
Yeah, Have said socorro.
Yeah. Help.
Yeah, Have said socorro, which means help.
And they're all women's names. Honestly, I mean, if you've ever doubted that we were sexist as a society, like, and they're all women's names, all of them. All of them.
But you have to admit that tránsito is a very weird one.
I know.
I mean,
but-
there's no one called transit in English.
no,
Or
no.
well, not that I know about. But I've heard that here a couple of times.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not as normal as or it's not as easily heard as any of the other ones. I
Julián
feel.
Quintero dice encarnación.
Encarnación.
Sí, no.
Que ni siquiera sé cómo podría traducirse.
Alejandro Morales dice, ¿y qué me dices del Watchman que viene de Watchmen?
The Watchmen, sí.
Sí, no. Sí, no. Estoy pensando,
digamos,
no
es que
pude
esos
decir
son
ningún
anglicismos.
nombre. Sí,
Pero es que un nombre, y esto es full español, esto sí estoy 100% seguro que todos esos nombres así retrágicos tienen que ser españoles, pero qué ganas de uno sufrir desde chiquito, ¿no?
no, y es que no sé cómo buscar nombres así en internet.
Nombres femeninos, sufrimiento.
No, pues, a ver qué sale. Nombres femeninos, sufrimiento.
Ese hubiera sido mi go-to para buscar.
Bueno, si sale, angustias, socorro, dolores o soledad son solo algunos de los nombres de mujer que de pequeño me provocaban extrañeza.
Y son muy católicos, ¿no? También. Sí, porque esos son puros como de flagelarse.
Pero angustias,
Angustia, sí, no me joda.
no.
Sí, uno, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo no
No.
ser uno estresado en la vida
Sí,
si a uno
la
le ponen
pobre-
angustias?
La pobre angustias,
Ay,
¿cómo va a vivir
angustias, ¿otra
tranquila?
vez?
Pero relájese, angustias, ¿cómo?
¿Otra vez?
¿Cómo
Angustias.
se va a relajar?
¿Se le quedó el lápiz para el examen?
Estoy buscando a ver si hay más. No.
¿Y cuántos han sido personajes de telenovelas también? Yo creo que esos dos conjuntos
Sí.
se mezclan muchísimo.
No, acá ya. 15 nombres que significan sufrimiento
No, ¿qué es eso?
en una página que se llama Revista del Bebé.
¿Qué es
¿Qué?
eso?
No sé, sí, no.
¿Cuál es? ¿Moana el primero?
Igual son nombres que no he oído mucho acá.
A ver, el primero.
Ah,
Léeme.
bueno. Carmen, sí, ese
Carmen.
sí. Frida, Gloria,
¿Frida significa sufrimiento?
Irena.
Sí, no.
Yo he oído Irene. Gloria, a ver por qué dice. Dice, Gloria es un nombre latino que significa fama y reputación. No solo es un nombre de mujer precioso, sino que además una de las una de las más feministas más reconocidas de nuestra época lleva ese
Gracias.
nombre.
Mm.
Pero ¿y dónde está lo de tristeza?
Sí, porque ahí le metieron editorial, pero no le...
Sí.
No se acordaron del artículo.
No, pues sí, porque el artículo literal, no.
Sí, casi que terminan. Y mi mamá era Gloria y era una mujer súper
A
trabajadora.
ver, mira, a ver, nombres que significan sufrimiento. Acherón,
No empecemos, pero eso es como...
Alastor,
No, pero eso ya es como griego, ¿eso qué es?
Samael,
No, y ya estamos en bíblicos. No. Yo quería...
20 nombres de niña guerrera.
No, pero...
Eso dice.
No, pero aquí ya
A
nos
ver,
perdimos.
nombres de bebés con significados raros y negativos.
Daniela,
Dice Blas.
San Blas.
Es un nombre para bebés con origen latino muy empleado en todo el mundo. Significa tartamudo. Entre las variaciones en otros idiomas, bueno.
Bah.
Brenda. Boris. Boris significa pelea, dice. Camila. Uy, mi prima.
A ver.
Dice, Camila es un nombre de origen latino con significado raro y desafortunado.
Deberían dejar así, solo, y ahí
Sí.
terminar el artículo.
Significa la que espera el sacrificio.
What?
Destacar a la tenista italiana Camila Giorgi o a la cantante japonesa Camila Gray entre las personalidades que se llaman así. Claudio es un nombre de origen latino que significa cojo. Marta significa afligida.
No, ya no, ya.
Velasco
así.
Cuervo. Leila oscura en vanidad. ¿Qué? Bueno,
No, ya. Sí, ya.
sí, no. Mi prima dice presentación o chon. ¿Qué?
¿Qué?
¿Cómo? ¡Ay! Chon se llamaba. Chon se llamaba presentación, baby. Es que Chon. Voy a contar la historia rápido, pero en la casa de mis abuelos había una persona que trabajaba en la casa de ellos
Ujú.
que se llamaba Chon. Pues le decían Chon. Siempre le
Mm.
dijeron Chon. Y entonces había un cuarto que era el cuarto de Chon. Siempre decían, no, que el cuarto de Chon, y uno sabía a cuál se estaban refiriendo. Y ese cuarto después se volvió un estudio, y en ese estudio quedó un baño. Y entonces uno siempre decía, voy a ir al baño de Chon. Pero yo nunca supe, o sea, sí supe de Chon, pero Chon estuvo mucho tiempo antes de que nosotros naciéramos, pero no sabía que Chon se llamaba presentación. Entonces acá mi prima me acaba de
Las cosas.
iluminar las cosas de la vida.
Iluminar el baño de Chon.
Sí. Además uno siempre decía que iba a ir al baño de Chon. Bueno, no importa, no voy a entrar en detalle.
Qué
No
triste
importa.
que solo mencionaran a Chon para decir que... O sea, la
No, porque es como
historia
decir...
que dejó Chon atrás fue solo para dejar un baño en su
No,
nombre.
sino que se acostumbraron a decir así. Es como tu mamá que dice, ay, en el cuarto de Nicolás, de tu casa.
Sí, pero
Que la
fíjate
verdad
que
no
era
es el
baño
cuarto de
Chon. Es
Nicolás.
como, me voy a cagar al baño de Chon. ¿Sí ves? No tiene
No,
una buena
pero
vibra.
porque es que el cuarto de
la
Chon se
memoria.
volvió un estudio. Entonces, nunca, o sea, dejó de existir el cuarto de Chon, pero siguió existiendo el baño de Chon. Y entonces, muchísimos años después, o sea, yo nunca conocí a Chon y yo decía que iba a ir al baño de Chon. Siempre.
Mm,
Entonces,
pobre Chon. Toca honrar su memoria mejor que
Eh,
con... Si va a cagar, me hace el favor, va al baño de chon.
sí, es que así.
Sí, no, sí.
No, pero
Sí,
así.
si
no.
está mala del estómago, me hace el favor. No, en el baño de chon. Baño de chon y ábrame la ventana.
No, pues pero era, bueno, no importa. Era porque como quedaba
Alejado.
detrás del estudio.
Sí, alejado, la pobre chon.
No, bueno, no importa. América Viridiana Alvarado Sánchez dice también Consuelo y Amparo,
Sí.
que si bien no son negativos, tienen ese feeling de maternidad o yo no sé,
No,
jajaja.
no, de que nació mujer, entonces nació para sufrir, sí, terrible.
Y también dice Concepción, refugio.
Bueno, refugio no conocía, pero...
Alejandro Morales dice jajaja, lechón. No, el baño de chón. No el baño lechón. Sí, no. Julián Rodríguez dice jajaja, épico. Sí. No, y lo peor es que es lo que tú dices. O sea, siempre hacíamos referencia a ir a ese baño cuando
Comían
uno
lechona.
sabía que si algo a uno no le caía bien,
Sí.
uno decía,
¿Y dónde
ay,
está
¿dónde
su mamá
está?
que no la veo?
está
Ay,
en
no,
donde...
está en el
No, y
baño
uno
de
siempre
chon.
decía, no, donde chón,
Ah, no.
donde chón. Y ya.
Donde chon, el cagadón.
Em, Pablo Rojas.
Se generó esta conversación rapidísimo.
Pablo Rojas dice, en un cementerio vi una vez el nombre circuncisión coronado.
No,
Era una
empiece.
señora. No
No
sé cómo
creo,
reaccionar.
no creo.
Margo Delgado dice sagrario. Julián Quintero dice encarnación. Alejandro Morales dice anunciación. David Paucar dice soy tu fan, genial trabajo.
¿El tuyo con lo de los nombres o con lo de chon?
Sí.
O...
Genial tu historia, John. Callum said, just joined. Love this painting. I swear your phone must be full of photos of pins, cups, paper bags, and trash bags.
That sounded good. That sounded like like an album, the title for an album. Bags, yes. Trash bags, not so much. But yeah, plastic bags for sure. No, not paper bags, more. Pins, no. I think this is the first one. First ever.
You did a hair tie once.
Yes, I love that painting.
Yeah, me too. That has like some strands of hair.
Yeah, and like a little Mobius cast shadow.
Yeah. And that's always because I don't know why, but there's always like bobby pins and
Always.
hair ties and everything.
There's one of your hair things right there, and I always think you're gonna take it. You're gonna take it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's like in the corner, the black one. And I always find them, and I'm not saying
I
this
see
like
it. I mean, I see something to tie the cables.
no.
Maybe
It's like
maybe
right
I
there.
took it yesterday.
Maybe. But I always see it, and I'm not resentful. It's not as if I see a hair product and I'm like, oh, stupid hair people.
No, but I
But you just
but I
leave
have
them
to say,
behind.
yeah, that I don't know why. I always like leave them all around the house.
Like you shed like all these like hair stuff
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say you shed, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, well,
But
that also
has
because you have
nothing
like a
to do.
No. You have awesome hair, which means that you're gonna shed a ton of hair. Every single
No,
woman
but
that has like,
I don't have that much hair.
I think you have a lot
I mean,
of
it
hair.
grows super fast,
That
but it's
means
not.
you have a lot of hair.
No, it's long. I was gonna say, but it's not a lot of hair.
Like volume? No, but you
No.
have good hair.
But it's not like super voluminous. Because
Yeah.
I've seen people that like they can't even have a hair tie because it's so much hair.
Oh yeah, and with like curly people that have curls, like my niece, like
Mhm.
Christina, yeah, that's a lot of hair. Like she has a lot of hair.
Mhm.
Like you could hide stuff in her hair. But yeah, but you have a lot of hair. But usually people that have a lot of hair shed a lot of hair. That's just how it is.
Yeah, but yeah, I shed
Yeah. That's why I don't want
Hair-
a dog that sheds.
I was gonna say I shed.
I'm fine vacuuming Danny's hair, but I don't want more hair.
I'm gonna say that we don't vacuum that much, so that's why we can't have a
Sweeping. I'm fine sweeping.
Okay.
Okay, because
Okay.
I sweep a lot.
Yeah, but I was gonna say that I shed a lot of hair tools, like hair accessories. I don't know why.
Yeah, hair related
I
products.
mean, like there's clips, bobby pins, hair ties. I'm getting better because I think in the last apartment it was like
Just
everywhere,
terrible.
but I'm getting better, I think.
I would just lift anything and there was always like something there. It's like, why here? That's what I always thought, like, why here?
But in my defense, you always leave things.
Like
I mean,
what?
like for example, you need to use like a medicine,
Yeah.
and you take one and
Yeah.
you leave the box always in the kitchen.
Because you never know. Like,
Or
maybe.
it's like, oh, I have to use a pen because I have to write a name, and then
Yeah.
you leave that pen there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a pen.
But
It's a pen. And it has use. I mean,
well, my hair
if
ties
I leave it there,
always.
if I put it there, it's because I'm thinking maybe in the next couple of hours, maybe in the next
Maybe
day,
in the next month.
maybe in the next day, I'm going to find myself in the same situation that I need a pen right in this moment, right in this like place.
But I have to say that when I see
With you,
like a
it's like,
hair,
you know how the people that own guns, they own a gun for like, there's a gun in every single room. They just want to have a gun like super ready. It's like, if you want to like grab your hair,
that's what I was gonna say.
anywhere
I
you're
leave-
sitting in our apartment, like anywhere, you could be sitting anywhere.
But
It
that's
doesn't
an
matter.
amazing thing for me because sometimes
And you're
I'm like,
oh, I gotta get my hair up.
I need a clip, like a
It's
hair
right
clip.
there.
And sometimes I see the hair clip and I haven't even realized I needed the hair clip, but it's there, so I use it, which is amazing. So Pablo Rojas dice, jajaja, no es chiste lo de circuncisión, vi la placa del siglo XIX.
No.
Sí, eso está grave.
¿Pero circuncisión tiene algún otro significado?
Pues no.
Mira, a ver.
Además, ¿por qué circuncisión una mujer?
Por eso, ¿por qué no me miras a ver? O sea, estemos 100% seguros que circuncisión no tiene como
A ver,
un
dice,
significado
acción
más
de
amplio.
circuncidar. Entonces,
Sí, pero
busquemos.
pues
Sí, espera.
yo
Circuncidar.
amo esas definiciones.
Sí. No, no tiene otra.
¿No?
No, nada.
Nada. Mira, ahí está tu copetón
Sí.
cantando otra vez,
Sí.
trinando.
Pero la vez pasada. Ah, bueno, sí, ahorita también está cantando mucho. ¿No? Solo eso.
Sí, entonces están locos.
A ver, espérate acá, ¿qué dice?
De pronto le gustaba cómo sonaba la persona y no tenía idea qué era y...
Pero.
Sí, pero de pronto nunca ni esa persona ni nadie más como que le dijo qué era.
Pero yo digo, bueno, listo. La señora no sabía, le puso el hijo a la hija el nombre. Pero yo creo que a alguien cuando ella se presentó le debió decir.
Pero de pronto no, de pronto no.
Bueno.
¿Qué tal que fuera en un pueblo todos católicos? Todos católicos.
Pues todos han leído en la Biblia que a los 8
No.
días se debe decir.
No, porque eso es como, o sea, de pronto eso es muy Antiguo Testamento, y es obviamente cultura judía. Ya se volvió una cosa que no necesariamente está atada a la religión.
Sí.
Pero en el siglo XIX, pues de
Sí,
pronto no.
Pues o sea,
En un pueblo que era full
en-
católico, de pronto
en
no tenía ni
Sevilla
idea.
yo me acuerdo de Onedoyar, que yo sí te he contado, y ese
Ujú.
pues hay varios, que es de $1.
Sí, pero esos sí son muy famosos
Sí.
acá. Como suene también. Era que les gustaba de pronto cómo sonaba algo. O no, ni siquiera cómo sonaba, cómo lo veían escrito.
Sí,
Aquí en Colombia es divino porque siempre uno oye un nombre y es como, ¿y cómo se escribe?
sí.
¿Y cómo?
Porque hay variaciones de todo. De todos los nombres. Alejandro Morales dice, hay un episodio en la Biblia
Sí.
sobre la circuncisión de Jesús. Santo prepucio, ¿qué? ¿Qué está diciendo Alejandro? Héctor Acuña says, thanks for checking out my work the other day and glad
Sure.
you're feeling well enough to stream today.
Yes.
Love how this painting is turning out.
Thank you. It's very, very simple, but, paintings, I think paintings like this one just have to be like that. It can't be complicated. It just has to be what it is, and there's beauty in just the simplicity of what it is.
Liad said, I think Nicolas is just jealous of Danny's hair.
Deep down, but
But if you would have to shed the hair I shed.
if I would
Yeah.
have to,
Yeah.
no, I just don't. I don't. I am actually very, very grateful that I don't have hair.
I like you not having hair. I've told you before.
And I think it goes with my personality. Like, I don't, like, I would have hated being a guy that has to care about his, hair. I mean, you don't have to, but it's like one more thing that you have to, like, take care of before
Yeah.
you go out. Like, I'm fine, like, showering, brushing my teeth, and I'm good. Like, I put on a t-shirt, jeans, my sneakers.
And you don't have to cut your hair that much, which is also something
like,
that...
probably every month and a half, maybe.
Yeah, but when people have, like, when people like to have short hair, they have to trim the hair all the time.
Oh yeah, and guys that have like super clean cuts.
Yeah, that's what I was
nowadays,
gonna say. Like, they
that
have
only
to be...
work. Like those guys that do I don't even know what haircuts are called anymore. But that haircut that's super popular. It's short on the sides, and then you have a lot of
siete?
hair. No, but you have, I don't know what it's
The
called.
7?
No, and you have a lot of hair like in the front that you can like kind of brush back. Like that haircut looks so ridiculous when you don't make your hair, when you're not doing your hair, because it's just
Buzz
so
cut?
long.
I think it's buzz cut.
No, buzz cut is just very short hair.
Okay.
But it looks so ridiculous when you don't like style it that I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not that person. I mean, it's totally cool with the people that have the time for that and have the patience and they enjoy that. More power to them. That's awesome. That is awesome. But I don't have that personality. So maybe I was just lucky that I just I think it was when I was, how old was I? I think I was probably 20. Let me see. I forget. I remember I went to get my hair cut at the mall because that's where I would get it, and they were trimming it, and I was like, I look so stupid, and I was like, just cut it all off, like. But I was probably like 20 something, 27 maybe. Yeah.
But you
maybe.
look good.
I look
bald.
how I look.
No,
That's
I like
fine.
how you look. And I was gonna say,
And ever since I was young, I used to love wearing caps. And when I was in the U.S., I didn't really wear a cap, so I was very happy when I was like, okay, now I kind of have to because of the sun. Like I'm so pale that it's pretty bad for me to get some of the sun here in Bogota. It just the UV rays are horrible because we're so high up. So I always have to wear a cap. So I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine. Rediscovered my love for baseball caps.
Jean Rousin
Ooh la la.
said haircut is called fade.
The fade.
A fade.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's awesome. It's if you have the time for that, if you like that sort of stuff, that is awesome. I just, I can't afford to like that, and honestly, I just don't have the personality to like that. So.
And I love, like, you have a very perfect shaped head. Because think about mine.
I mean, but yours is like
Mine has
peculiar.
yeah, it has. I don't know if my mom didn't turn me that much when I was sleeping as a baby, because I have
Or like dropped you sharply.
But like constantly too.
Yeah, on the same
On
side.
the same side, yeah.
Yeah.
She always fell asleep with me, maybe.
Yeah.
And
No,
I
but
just like
but
dropped
what
from-
you're saying is what usually happens. Like that's why you got to turn your baby
But I think they turned me.
into a flat-headed human being.
Yeah, maybe. Ay, gracias. Olguita dice, Dani, you're perfect. Gracias,
She
Olguita.
is. But she's never touched. My mom has never touched your head, has she?
No.
I think she would get nervous.
I mean, you can, Olguita, if you want. The next time we see each other, you can see what we're talking about. Also, because I think I've said this before in streams, but if I am laying in the floor
yeah,
and I move my head,
yeah, you don't
it
turn.
always like stucks in one place because
Like,
that's
oh, shit.
where I have.
I dropped all the.
Yeah, I saw.
Like that's Danny.
No,
and
lower. Because wait. I'm gonna take the banner out. There, you go.
So that's Danny. This is a sharpener.
Yeah.
So if she turns, it's not like you could just roll. You know how people roll? When Danny turns, it's like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
she has facets.
Yeah.
She's a Minecraft character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
peculiar.
it's like
I
I can
remember.
roll.
I remember we had barely met and I was touching your head.
Oh, and I told you.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
some of the first things you talk about.
yeah, I'm like, oh, do you want to see something? Because I
like,
mean,
yes.
I can like move my head, like from here to here, like from the center to the right. I can move it without problem. But then if I turn my head to the left, it's like stuck there because
Yeah.
it's super straight there.
Maybe that's
So-
why you like turtles.
Why?
You know how you
'Cause
flip
they-
a turtle and they can't, you know.
Maybe.
Maybe you were a turtle.
Yeah.
Need some life, you know.
Maybe that's why. Yeah,
You're
I
part
feel.
turtle. I never thought about this. It all makes sense.
Olguita said, sure. Nicolas is as perfect as mine.
What?
Your head.
Oh,
So-
I take after my mother.
So
we
your
look
mom
at,
was saying, sure, that she can touch my hair, my head, when we see each other again. And
but she also used the opportunity to speak about her perfect head.
I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
My
your
mother's
mom's head. Yeah, like in
Um,
detail. Because I mean, I can see yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't see hers. 'cause of
I
the
have
hair, so.
my mother's features, I feel, and then like my dad's body type. You know that when my dad when we had to take him to the hospital. So it's sad because it's the day he died, but when we had to take him to the hospital, they were trying to see if there was something wrong with his lungs. So they had to take an x-ray or they just had to check him to see if something showed up in a chest x-ray.
Mhm.
You know that my dad's chest was so wide
It
that
didn't fit.
it didn't fit. You know, and my dad wasn't like a huge guy. He wasn't at all. He was probably like 6 feet, maybe 6 foot, maybe 6'1" at most. But he had like thick arms, like thick hands, and his chest. The guy that was in the X-ray machine was like, we have to take 2 X-rays. Like this doesn't fit.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I have like so I'm like a bastardized version of my dad's body. So it's like my dad's body, but it didn't finish printing. You know, like it's like stuck at 70% maybe. And then my mom's like kind of features, I guess.
Because I think
So it's like an ape-like body. You know, I have like a big back, like a broad back, skinny arms now. And they were better back in the day. Sickly legs, I would say. Yeah,
what? No.
very deformed, honestly.
No.
How do I walk?
I was gonna say that I'm like the opposite of your father, because I think they do X-ray, and
Yeah.
they can see like from the tip of my toe.
Yeah,
To
it's
my
like,
head.
Okay, let's do a full body.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, we didn't need it, but let's go.
yeah. Mi prima dice, yo tengo la cabeza igual a ti, Dani. Ja, 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 puede ser de familia. Mine is flat in the back. ¿Será?
Or maybe all the women dropped.
De pronto a nuestras mamás nunca
Sí.
les enseñaron a girarnos. Pero mi hermana
De
no
pronto
tiene la
todas las
cabeza
días-
así.
A todas las días se les caían los niños.
Pero mi mamá, entonces se le olvidó porque lo hizo bien con mi hermana
Ajá.
y a mí me dejaron
Pues es que
quieta.
con la primera uno se esfuerza y con la segunda
Pero mi
es...
prima era la primera.
Ah, sí. No, no. Es negligencia.
Sí, sí. Cody Winnicky said, her head has corners. That's cool.
Like literally.
Yeah.
Literally. It could serve as directions.
Yeah. Alejandro Morales is asking, and how big is Nico?
Oh, I'm like 5'11", maybe. 5'10",
I have
11.
no idea in that.
Yeah, kind of. No, I don't know. I'm a regular size Colombian man, I would say. You know. But no, if I go to Europe, you know, if I go to Netherlands, oh my God, if you're in Amsterdam, I talk with everyone's like belly button.
But imagine me. I mean,
You would talk with everyone's ankle. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna.
No,
say
no,
that
no,
or
we're-
something
we're-
weird.
You know, we're fine. You know what I like? That Danny and I look good together.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Eh, ¿Dónde? No pude
No?
mirar cuánto mido yo.
You're like 5'2", I would say. Which is
Alejandro Morales.
5 perfect.
Alejandro Morales said 180 centimeters. Dude, you choose the place on earth with the biggest people.
Oh, I know. That's the people in like Netherlands. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely
It would
crazy.
be hard for me if I lived there, I think. Like if I think about like public transportation. Because I would be like super small for everything. I mean, I don't know if I can grab the handle.
I spent 2 weeks there, so I don't remember things feeling like they were meant for big people. So I don't know.
Because I remember, like, I have an image in my head.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of my sister was living in Europe, and I think she was in Germany.
Yeah, they're big there too.
Yeah, and she went to an ATM, is it called?
Yeah.
Cajero?
Yep.
An ATM. And she posted a story that said, like, the life of a short Colombian in Europe. And she had to climb to reach the
slot for the card?
No, like the key, las teclas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
like the keypad.
yeah, so the ATM
The
had
number
like a
pad.
frame, like a sort of frame, and she had to stood there to be able to press the keys. So yeah, it was so funny, so funny. And I thought, like, wow, I mean, she's a little bit taller than I am. So I would have to travel with a tiny, like, chair in my
Yeah.
purse so I can take it out and go to the ATM. So,
It's like a German-only ATM. That's the subtle way they guarantee that. And my grandfather was German, so I can say those things.
Alejandro Morales said, Danny, you can store memories on that corner of your head. Yeah. Maybe that's where I store all the songs.
Like
lyrics.
useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcial said, I'm just 183. Just? I think that's super tall, but okay.
For us, that would be tall.
Super tall, yeah.
For here in Colombia, we would say that's tall.
And Marciel also said, maybe you have seen the Dutch giant, Oliver Richters.
Oh, yeah, that dude is enormous. Yeah.
Look at this picture.
Yeah. I mean, but poor guy. Like,
How tall is he?
When we watched the Andre the Giant documentary,
yeah.
like one of the things that would make him suffer the most was that he just wanted to be like invisible. He wanted people not to like constantly like remind him of how freakishly big he was. So yeah, I think that for very small people and very, very large people, that's got to be painful. I mean, that guy, could you imagine that dude in an airplane? Like nowadays in the airplanes, like the airlines that you can barely sit in those seats. Like Danny fits, but even Danny, like if she's sitting like, you know, with her knees will come close to the chair that's in front of her.
Yeah, because I think my legs are not that short, but my
Right.
torso is shorter.
Right, but you're a small person.
But
and
yeah, but I was gonna say, but even if my legs are kind of long, I'm still super short. So if it's complicated for me to fit,
imagine, for these
like,
people,
yeah.
like that's not fair.
yeah, because Marcial was saying he is 218. 2 metros 18.
Wow, that's crazy. Oof.
Yeah. Peter Smicken said, I live in Amsterdam and there are also quite a few small people here. The tall ones just stand out a lot to strangers. And Liad said, I'm 6 feet and I can barely fit in airplanes.
Yeah, it's almost like the world is made for just people, I guess, like my size. I think I'm like, if you think of the world like average size, like I'm an average size for Latin persons, and especially for like Latin northern, like in South America, the northern South American countries, because the southern ones are more European. So I'm pretty sure like men from Argentina tend
Are
to be
taller. Yeah.
Men
And women too.
Yeah. So people from Argentina tend to be taller, because they are far more European than us. But for us, I think I'm just, I'm super regular. I'm just like textbook.
I think I would say I'm small.
You're slightly. The thing is, the Colombian woman is small, so
Yeah, I don't know what the average.
I would say like 155. I would say 150. Yeah, I would say 155.
So then I'm not that small.
Yeah, or 156. I'm gonna say. Look for the average height of Colombian women. I'm gonna say 156. Yeah.
157. So I am just
like I
average.
Said, you're right there. So perfect.
Yeah. But I've got to say, for me, it's amazing. Because the last plane we had, I could, like, almost, like, I just fit in the chair.
Like barely,
Yeah, barely. But I remember when I was traveling, when I was visiting my sister when she was living in the States, and I came back, the plane had, like, I was the only one in the row.
Oh, that's so good. It's like poor person's first class.
But I'm small, so I could like I was laying completely.
Beautiful.
Like my feet were not like
you could outstretch.
Yeah, like I didn't have to like be like in a position fetal,
fetal position.
Fetal position or nothing. Like I was. It was like a perfect fit for me. So
awesome.
Yeah, and also when. I don't know if you have to go in a car ride or something like that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
there's
like,
cars that are tight. Yeah.
No, and if it's like, we have to feed 7 people, I'm like, I'm fine. I mean, I'm always fine in that.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I always feed everywhere. So
You're right, yeah. So it's
So that's
it's easier
amazing
for
for me.
like more petite people, I'd say, than for larger people for sure.
Uh, Jessica Tenbush said 5'9" is the average height for a man in the USA.
Oh, so it's not. So I'd be average too then. Okay. They're usually bigger though.
What? 5'9".
I always think I look up at Americans rather than, look down.
Alejandro Morales said, if you live in the Netherlands, normal people needs to buy kids' clothes.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, I can buy things in kids' place too. And I think a lot of people here, because
Yeah, there's a lot of like, I think petite is like a better definition though, because it's like when I see you, Danny, you're like perfectly proportioned. You're just like smaller, and that's it. But in the U.S., there's some stores that are for like petite women, but in here you can't find anything. Like,
no, but I also remember when I was traveling with my sister, we went to a store and they had like tall, normal, petite. That's how they labeled it. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. I'm going to go to the petite one. But it didn't fit.
Oh.
Because it was like super tight for me.
Yeah.
Like I remember also the sleeves were shorter.
Oh,
Or
okay.
it was like the fit was kind of different.
Okay. Yeah, because you're
So
curvy.
I was
You're
like
like a woman. You're curvy but smaller. So
I was like an XS, extra small. But then if I went to the petite, I would go with like an M or something because the fit was kind of weird. So
how did we get here?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Cuddy Winnicky said, I used to work at a restaurant in the kitchen with a low ceiling, and another chef was over 7 feet.
Oh,
he had
poor
to push
dude.
out one of the ceiling panels so he could stand up at his station.
What?
No, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Because, I mean, it would be super hard. Imagine to have to keep your head down.
Yeah.
Trying not to knock the ceiling. That's terrible.
Yeah. Or the stupid hood from your lens.
No, but I think it hasn't been that bad.
No, I'm holding my posture, so...
Because I think we can put it a little bit higher next time.
Yeah, and then zoom in
We're
a
gonna
little
be
bit
good.
more.
Yeah.
The thing is, if we put it higher, it's a little more distorted,
Yeah.
which bugs me all the time. I thought there had to be a tool, but when I think about it, it's super tough. To like edit real time, to like transform and edit something real time. That would take... I'm unsure if it's just if it's weird or if it would eat up your computer's resources to like correct the perspective on OBS real time.
I think we would have to download something.
No, but I just think it's too much. It's to do that. To have a filter like that for every frame while you're doing live something, it's almost impossible, I feel.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you have to process all that. So.
But we could try it. I mean, like if it doesn't work, then
I just don't think it's out.
and-
I don't know if there's people out there that know OBS, but I don't know if it's out there. I don't know if we could find that.
SK said, back again with this Zorn palette.
Yes.
You hotties.
Oh, nice.
SK said, smaller people also live longer because they're closer to the center of the earth. Okay.
Okay. I don't even... I don't know how to unpack that.
Yeah. Tia was saying bobby pin. Interesting subject.
Yeah. I just I saw it in the bathroom this morning, and figured, yeah, that's a very real thing around, our
Our
apartment,
life.
around
Yeah.
our lives. So,
In my defense,
yeah,
I took it out.
not that you need to,
No.
you know.
No, but I want to defend myself with all the people that are listening to. I was going to take a shower
Mm-hmm.
and I took it out of my head. And I was planning on using it today. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to store it.
Uh-huh.
But then I took the shower and I forgot about it. So, yeah.
Again, you didn't have to. You don't have to defend any of that. That's. And it's in the bathroom, which I feel it's
Yeah.
like okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've left bobby pins in weirder places.
Oh, I know.
Not in the fridge ever.
No, I haven't seen one in the fridge. No, I don't. I mean, I'm looking forward to the day that I find one there.
No, no, I don't think I'm gonna. No.
I kind of like it. It's very simple. It's it's a ton of edge work. I feel the painting is mostly about edges. I feel. And I'm okay with that. So it's very, it's one of those paintings that you're gonna say one thing, and you're hoping that you could do that one thing well.
Estaba viendo las preguntas.
¿Sí?
E Ignacio Casas pregunta: ¿Usted, Daniela, dónde nació? ¿Dónde pasó su infancia, adolescencia y demás? En Bogotá. Toda mi vida he vivido en Bogotá. Nací en la clínica Reina Sofía.
Con los datos que mandaste con específicos.
Y ya. Acá toda la vida.
Muchas gracias.
De nada. Sí, no. Colegio, universidad y eso sí no. No digo.
No importa.
No importa. Pero sí, acá. Nunca he vivido ni siquiera por un periodo cortico de tiempo en otra parte. No. Siempre aquí en mi tierrita.
¿Mi terruño?
¿Qué?
¿En mi terruño?
No sé qué es terruño.
Como tierrita.
Ah. Y eso es
Muy
rolo.
colombiano. Es muy colombiano.
Nunca había oído eso.
Sí.
Catherine said, let me summarize how you end up talking about length. From hair accessories to shedding hair and
Okay.
cleaning habits to head shapes, body features, and then length.
Oh.
I know.
Can anyone do timestamps for all of those, please, for the video?
That would be
Thank you.
amazing. But that's like
Those
the
would
way-
be our editors. Like that would be a way we could hire an editor.
yeah. That you can see like
Okay,
chapter
here's the
1.
challenge.
Chapter 1. Hair accessories. Chapter 2, shedding. Chapter 3, cleaning
I don't
habits.
know how you do markers for those things.
I think I know how,
Oh, but yeah, but that's too much.
but yeah. No, but I could watch a video and learn how to. That's not that hard. But the complicated thing is like going back to every single video
Yeah.
and like timestamping
Oh, no.
every
It
single
wouldn't
thing.
be for every video from now on. No, it would be like a now on thing, but not really. Honestly, it's. I can totally understand that for videos where where people usually talk about stuff and maybe they intro, they're kind of talking about whatever they did during the day, week, whatever. And then eventually, you want to hear about X video game or book or review or whatever, I don't know, whatever you seek for in your videos. And a lot of people just want to jump to that.
Yeah.
And I can understand that. But for us, we're aimless. So
Yeah, because I was going to say, when I edited the videos, when it wasn't like a live stream, but an edited video, when I was editing, I would do like marks to know where I had to post the video we were talking about.
Yeah.
So when you were looking at the video would pop.
Okay.
Like a tiny like window or something that you can press to see the video.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah,
it's
right,
easier
right.
because I was like listening.
Yeah.
And as I was listening, I could like stop
Yeah.
and do the mark. And then when I posted the video, I could see like, I don't know, minute 10:28, I have to post this video. And then I have to post this other thing. And like that's easier. But for the live stream, I think it would be a little bit more complicated. So
Yeah. We were so structured back then.
yeah, I like that too. I like both, but I like this more. I think it's cool.
I enjoyed that, but it's different now.
Yeah, no, and I was gonna say that I really like having these conversations. What? SK said, Daniela, can you say editing again? It sounds like it rolls so easily of the thong.
Of the thong?
Thong. I'm sorry.
Oh
How
my God, again, we're back.
How can I say it? How is it?
It rolls off the thong. Yeah.
How is it?
Tongue.
Tongue.
You go with a hard T on that word.
Tongue. It rolls easily of the tongue. Not the other one.
If not, you're going to get us more viewers, but for the wrong reasons.
No. Your thong. Not mine.
What?
Nicolás.
Now you're like super personal. Like, don't overshare.
Jesús de la Osa dice, es que Dani sí se ve muy cachaca, jajaja. ¿Sí? No sé. Me veo...
¿Te ves? No.
Me veo,
Pues,
sí, pues no sé, sí. Sueno de pronto muy... Pero yo creo que tú también suenas súper bogotano.
100%.
Lo que pasa es que pues tu inglés es Nueva
Bogotano.
York.
También, bogotano.
Nueva York. El mío es
Nueva York.
de acá. Johan Buitrago dice, ¿cómo aprendiste inglés, Daniela? En el colegio. En el colegio aprendí inglés. Sí. Era un colegio bilingüe, entonces desde chiquitos nos enseñaban inglés. Y ya. Desde ahí
Aprendí
y ya.
inglés.
Y nunca más.
Ay, juepucha.
Practiqué nada más. Alejandro Morales said, what? Nicolás is painting tongues? Tongue, is it? Tongue, ¿cierto?
Tongue.
Tongue, okay.
So the O in that one is kind of weird.
Tongue.
Because we would say dong. And maybe that's where you get like a little weird with the O sound. And that makes you say thong.
Okay.
But tongue is like more like a U. I don't know, tongue. Like think of it like T-U-N-G.
The next time I see tongue, I'm gonna say thong. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But I
Thong.
think it's funny because they were saying, can you say editing again? It sounds like it really rolls so easily.
Off the
And then I said thong, of the thong. So, yeah. Alejandro Morales said, Nicolás, have you made your own oil paints?
I have it sometimes, but it's a lot of work, and they never quite end up as good as the tubed ones. So it's nice, but it's not as easy as you think it is. It's very nice. It can be cost effective if particularly if you buy one of these larger kind of jars of pigments that are super expensive. It can be cost effective, but um, you know, paint makers, good paint makers, they know what they're doing. So I think it's best if they do it.
And even regular paint makers.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
Yeah.
very tough to
Because
do
I
it.
remember I did it for
Oh yeah, but
the university, and
with-
it was terrible.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
I-
yeah.
like I started painting because the teacher
Yeah.
told us how to do it, so we can. Because we were gonna do a super big painting. Well, super big. It was 2 meters
It was
for
large. It's a large
like
painting,
170, something like that. So they showed us how to do it if we wanted to, and there were people painting with the oils they did, but I couldn't. I mean, like, I tried, but like mixing was weird.
Yeah, no.
They
it's-
dried weird. Yeah.
Well, they showed you a very shorthand way of doing it. Like, in a very simplified, essential way,
Mm-hmm.
paint is just, pigment and binder, and that's it.
Yeah.
Pigment and vehicle. And that's it. But it's not as simple as that. It's really, really not as simple as that. So,
Leah said,
and the-
also pigments can be toxic. I'm sorry.
oh, yeah.
And what?
Most of the pigments, though, that it's obviously never good to inhale any of the ones that are like ferrous oxides, the iron oxides. In those cases, like I said, what Danny was doing was like super cost effective, and they were just getting like very industrial kind of grade pigments.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cheap. So yeah, but it's very difficult.
But
it
then we
really is.
did-
It's a wonderful thing to do when you can do them well, but then you realize, oh my God, there's so much work to this, and I can just buy this in a tube.
But then the other class I had, I don't know if you remember. I don't.
Hector?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
In that one, he got like good pigments.
Yeah, he was far more disciplined when
Then
making paints. Yeah.
Gabriel Lonches,
Yeah.
But I remember, and he was like super scared that time. But I think it was like a coincidental thing. I've told you about it. But
What's that?
that he had the pigments, and
Yeah.
we were in groups doing the mixing
Yeah.
for the oils. And I had to do the cadmium red.
Oh, so you were using real pigments
Yeah.
there.
And I had a nosebleed. And he was super scared.
Oh, yeah, no.
But I think it had nothing to do.
no,
I mean,
no, for sure.
he was like, no, are you okay? And I was like,
no.
I think it's like coincidental. But
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. He was super nice. Super nice teacher, I think.
Was this the time that you were eating pigments? Was this around that time? Or was not? Oh.
No, but I remember that he was like super scared.
Yeah, but no.
'Cause I had to work with someone, and we had to use like a spoon
Yeah.
and like to measure everything perfectly. And the person I was working with like used the spoon
Yeah.
and didn't change the spoon, but like tapped the spoon like to take the excess powder out.
Okay.
So the powder of the cat red was like flying.
Okay.
And then I had the nosebleed. So he was super scared.
No, but you would
I
have to
mean,
inhale so much of
no.
that.
No, and I was fine. I mean, yeah. Catherine is asking, is this painting A3 size?
No, this is the story of a
29 centimeters by 21, but I don't know what that is.
so
Let me
half.
check.
What's A4? Let's go for A4. So this is the half of A3.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Half of so
A4.
A4. Okay.
Yeah, because it's 29.7 by 21.
There we go.
So yeah, A4.
I thought about it, and I think the size that I ended up doing for this bobby pin is oversized for a bobby pin, but it's not so large that it becomes something else. And I think that in a bigger size, I would have just had to fill it up with more space, or then, you know, do the thing that I didn't want to do, which was alter the proportions even more. But I'm happy with where it is. I think it's a nice kind of relationship to this image, from this image to the actual object.
SK said, talking about universities,
Yeah.
do you have any tips on getting accepted in one? I'm currently working on a portfolio for an art academy.
Oh, can I be super honest? I mean, I can't speak for the university that you're going to apply to, but if it's just like a regular university, admissions are so low now to colleges and universities because people are having a hard time paying for the universities, that I don't know if this is like a public, as in public, you know, as in U.S. public universities, or a private one, as in, you know, U.S. private universities. I know that means something different in the U.K. But so with what I'm saying with that is, like, I don't know how the admissions are for those, or how expensive or cheaper they are. I don't know if you have like state aids if you go for a university or a public college that's in your area. So there's a lot of stuff that actually you have to take into account. But what is true around the world is that less people are like studying undergrad or graduate programs. Undergrad programs for sure have suffered. And this is even like pre-pandemic. So with many universities now is that anyone who's like willing to pay, they'll accept. So I don't know, you know, if this is, again, I'm not trying to say that this is the case of the place that you're trying to get to, but I think universities are very, very willing to accept people into their programs now. So it's in their best interest.
SK said, it's a public art academy in Germany. It'll be comparatively cheap, I read online.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, if it's important to know like how many people per class, like how many people graduate per class. If it's a large school, then I would bet that you wouldn't have any problems. Usually universities disclose that sort of information. They'll tell you, we usually have, I mean, it's in their best interest to lie about these things if you think about it, but they'll usually say, we usually have 500 applications and we only accept 40% of them or 30% of them. Usually universities share that sort of information. But again, it's in their best interest to lie about that, to be very generous with those numbers, just so that you feel it's like, oh my God, I have to get, you know, like if it sounds like it's tough to get into that university, then it makes you, and if you have a chance to get in there, you probably feel very special. It's meant, that sort of stuff is meant to make you feel like it's very, very special if you get in. So yeah, I would take that with a grain of salt, but I don't know. I don't know what the character of your university is. I don't know if there's a painting program and your portfolio is made with paintings. I don't know if there's a, you know, like a digital program and you have a bunch of digital work. So yeah, it all depends. It all really, really depends. The university that I used to work for, I mean, people had to write essays, and like an essay, they had to take a test, a
like
written test
a drawing test,
and
a
a
written
drawing
test,
from life test.
and portfolio.
Right. So, yeah. But, I mean, I would say, wouldn't you say, Danny, that whomever wanted to study there, they could get in, I would say. I mean, based on...
Yeah, but I have to say that when I tried to get in the university,
Yeah.
there were a lot of people that
Didn't?
yeah. And also there were a lot of people that were like in a list that if someone they accepted didn't pay, they could enter.
Yeah.
Or they enter the preuniversitario.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So, because I've known, like, I even studied with a lot of people
Yeah.
who were doing the pre-university course they give.
Yeah.
And
It's
they
ridiculous.
did 6 months of that, and then they started when
Yeah.
I started.
Yeah,
So-
but I'm going to be cynical here. That sort of stuff was done because the university just wanted to have more money. I mean, it's like, okay, you didn't get in this semester, but you could get in early. You have to do like an extra semester, but if you do that extra semester, it guarantees that the next semester
and it
you're
didn't
gonna get
even
in.
guarantee. Like you
It's-
had to be good
Yeah.
in that semester to
yeah,
be in.
but
to
it's
be,
ridiculous. Honestly, I mean, those sort of things are super easy to figure out, and it's just about money.
Yeah,
it really is just
but I
about
have
money.
to say that I remember there were a lot of people taking the
Yeah,
the
I
drawing
remember some of my
test and-
best students had been. It was ridiculous because my students were on third and fourth semester, and some of my best students would tell me, "Oh, I had to do the art thing, the that
pre-university
semester."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, it's not. And they were very, very good. And yes, some students would develop very quickly, but come on, it was ridiculous. Like.
Yeah.
Honestly, universities, colleges, art schools, they're all businesses. I'm not saying anything that everyone doesn't know already. They're businesses. They want money. They are finding ways that they can, have more money. And it's not as if they charge tuition and then, they realize that their faculty, for example, is like their most important asset, which it is, aside from like, maybe the spaces, but people are your most important asset, and your teachers should always be your most important asset. Without your teachers, you don't have, you may have a course that has to be taught, but if it's taught, horribly, like
Yeah.
what's the point? But it's not as if universities invest in their teachers. Like if they just say, you know what, we got so much money, we're going to get more teachers, or we're going to pay
Or
them
we're
better.
gonna pay them better. Yeah, that's what I was gonna
It's
say.
never the case. Never, ever the case. So that's just a very simple way of knowing that, you don't really matter in that equation. Like money is the end goal in that. So, and that's why I'm saying, again, very cynically, because universities, art school, colleges have suffered so much, pre-pandemic even, because school debt has gone so much. Like it's like crazy worldwide, the amount of people's lives that have been destroyed or that have been just terribly altered because they have to pay for school debt. So that it's some years ago, it was in the U.S., in the history of the U.S., I remember reading this. It was the first time in the history of the U.S. that a generation was deciding not to go to college because they couldn't afford it, because they couldn't pay for it. Like, it was the first time in the history of the United States, because at other times they were assured education. I mean, even if it was like a little more expensive, like you could probably get a job after you graduated and pay off your debts in like 5 years maybe. Nowadays, it's people, 20 years, 25 years paying for their undergrad studies. And it's absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, institutions have suffered for that. And I could tell you right now that you could see it in I'm going to be harsh here, but even in the quality of the people that are accepted, like it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. As long as you want to study arts, as long as you can pay for it, yes, welcome. And that's very, very true for a lot of places in the US. A lot of places. They can't afford to say no anymore. Before you could do that, but nowadays you can't. Now, if you wanted to go to like Ivy League schools or like schools that are super tough to get into, yeah, sure. It's best to get educated as to, the sort of stuff that they're expecting to see in a portfolio. But if it's a, regular art school, if you kind of understand the character of the programs, if you feel like you want to go there because they have, let's say, a good painting program and you love to paint and you have paintings in your portfolio, you're going to do fine. I mean, usually when they do more in-depth portfolio critiques, especially for undergrad students, it's because they want to find maybe somebody that is deserving of like a scholarship or like a full scholarship or a financial aid of some sort. And there's very special people, like young people that are incredibly mature with their work, and they understand like the intent behind their work. And if you can find that out, early and kind of work with those students, yeah, that's amazing. And those students deserve like a recognition. Sure, you can, they can win scholarships and stuff. But with most of us, the case is that we're just young. And even if we're doing, our best work, it is the work of a young artist. It is the work of a young painter, a young animator, a young digital artist, a young concept designer. They don't expect to see the work of a 17-year-old to look like the work of a 32-year-old that has been working in the in whatever industry for 8 years, let's say. So if they're I don't know how tough they are, but if they understand what they're looking for, yeah, they will never expect young art students to be acting as like very mature mid-career artists. That would be ridiculous. So, yeah, just bring in, if you don't really know exactly what you want to do, which is totally fine, just bringing like a healthy dose of a lot of the stuff you do. Especially try to make it feel consistent. I would tell you the things that I was told when I did my portfolio when I graduated. They would tell me it's good to have a lot of images there, but one bad image is always going to sour the rest, the rest of the good images that could be surrounding it. So be very mindful of that. So if you have, I much rather see 4 very strong pieces than 6 pieces where 4 are strong, 1 is like, it's not too good, and then the 6th one is terrible, because you're always going to remember the terrible one. So don't have that image that is going to throw everything off balance. Just show yourself at your strongest. You have one opportunity to make like an impression, especially if like later on, if you're doing, if you're concerned with creating a professional portfolio, you have one chance. They're going to take a look at your portfolio one time, so it has to just you have to know that it's a very powerful opportunity, the one that you're having. You cannot have anything that's like super weak. You can't. So yeah, be mindful of that. And you probably have to write an essay. So yeah, write a good, honest essay. So good luck. Best of luck. Let us know. Are there any more questions, Danielita? Because I think like today was a simple painting. Obviously, it fits the palette quite naturally. I didn't really have to push anything about, the palette. I'm still learning quite a bit about the palette. I think I'm very comfortable with the earthier side of the palette. I'm not with the paintings that we did. I'm not really pushing the saturation, the only accent in saturation that we have with the palette, which is Cad Red. So I'm more interested in just expanding the subtleties of the subtle changes in hue that I can access now by having now this. I'm gonna start calling it. I thought I would always call it like a darker yellow earth, the raw sienna.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I see it, the more orange I feel it is. So I think it's an earthier. It's a redder. Let's call it redder. Maybe that's probably a little bit easier. With that redder earth. So I think I'm expanding a little bit the possibilities. But look, if you look at the palette, it's so. I mean, that's my painting today. It is so restricted. It is so small, the place that we're working on, that that we probably could have made the same painting with, like, 3 less colors than the ones that we have in our palette, like 2 less colors.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, haven't fully explored it, but I think that's going to be for the future. I intend on keeping the colors, so I want to figure out how to start to incorporate it. By now, I think my go-to is to use it in my shadows,
Mm-hmm.
if I could associate it to like lighting conditions. If I don't want to speak about light, I'll just say I'm starting to notice that I gravitate towards this color when I want to put some yellow in my darker mixes, which is very important because sometimes you want to add yellow, but like I said the other day, my only alternative before was to add yellow ochre, and that would lighten up my mix quite a bit, so I would
Yeah.
sacrifice the value in my shadow side.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think it's a good kind of healthy way of incorporating some of that yellow into the darker mixes. But that's about the only use I've found for that raw sienna, and I'm not doing it justice. So I need to push a little bit more and see how much, in my lights, for example, how varied I can make, those mixes from the ones of yellow ochre and red. Because right now I think what's kind of not bugging me, but what is making it difficult, and I can show you guys here. Let's take a second to do this, but what is a little difficult for me right now, I'm just cleaning my brush, is to acknowledge that this, which is just a regular mix that I could do with my yellow ochre is gonna go all over the place. This, which is like a mix that I could do with the rest of the colors in my palette, is starting, I don't know if you're noticing, but it's starting to become something that's quite similar to this. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So I think what's messing with my brain is that I'm seeing this and I'm telling myself, but I can mix that.
Yeah.
I can totally mix that. So my philosophy has always been in a palette, if I can mix it, why put it? And a lot of people would say, well, you put it just because, first of all, it's more comfortable to just have the color there than to constantly have to mix.
Mm-hmm.
And second, maybe you can mix a grayer version, because usually when you mix, you kind of lower the saturation of that hue. But when you have a pure pigment, it's always going to have like that the possibility of being higher in saturation.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people go like, well, I know you can mix it, but you can have the version of that's nicer in your
Mm-hmm.
palette, like purer. I get it. But the sort of painter that I am, I'm always like, if I can mix it and get close to it, I just don't need it then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally fine just searching for it in my palette. So, painter side of me that wants to take a step towards a broader, earthier palette wants to for sure keep exploring this color. But the stubborn side of me that has always loved smaller palettes and fewer variables is looking at this and saying, come on, that color is right inside of these 3. It just is. It's undeniable that it is. So am I being just, iterative for the sake of being, or for the sake of trying to be, I don't know, a little too elegant in hoping that I can expand my palette this way. So, I don't know. I think that's what's making it a little tough. But it's a good reflection about color. So, anything that makes me think about color, that makes me realize that that there are always broader possibilities in a small palette available to you. That's always good. That's always good. But yeah, I wanna see how far I can push this. I think yesterday with the painting of the older male model that we were getting flagged for. I think yesterday I went super earthy, a little bit darker, but again, that for me, just keying my painting darker is just always a thing that I do. So I'm fine with that. But I felt that I was able to explore some of that. So maybe if you guys don't get bored of me just trying to push this a little more, we can kind of do a follow-up week where you know what I'm thinking? Maybe I can just make yellow dominant paintings, or yellow earth, kind of yellow red earth dominant paintings next week
to kind of explore.
Yeah, and that way exactly that way I'm forcing myself to just say, okay, let's really see if there's enough subtlety between these two that would warrant just my decision of saying, yeah, I want you in my palette. That kind of forceful decision, it feels like right now. It feels like I'm imposing my whim a little bit onto my palette. But I want to do it. I want to give it a shot. And the thing is, like I said, for now, the richness that I'm getting in my darker mixes is justifying it, but I think it's too little. I usually don't like to associate a color with like a single use. Colors have to be good for everything. You have to be good for light, for midtone, and dark. If you're thinking about mixes and values, and so I don't like to associate colors with a particular use. For example, my black, which is a dark color, doesn't mean that I'm only going to use black for my darks. That's ridiculous. There's a ton of black in here, a lot of black in here. So in all of my lights here, there's a ton of black. So, like I said, my black has to be good for lights. Has to. So I don't appreciate that the only way I'm seeing this color is just by understanding how to fix, how to quick fix something that I had noticed about my palette a long time ago, which was that when my ochre was my single yellow hue, it was making the value in my paintings shrink a little bit because I would incorporate it into my shadows when I incorporated it into my shadows. So yeah, so that's a start. Let's call it a start, and I'm okay with it being a start. So how was it for you guys? Light? Did my shadow?
No, it's not that.
My hand cast like an annoying shadow.
I don't think it does.
No. Okay. It's a very simple. I love simple paintings. I actually adore paintings when I just want to do a simple painting and I execute a simple painting. I love those sort of paintings. I really, really do. They're just for some reason they feel very fundamental. Like, there's not much to them, so you have to try to make them really work in the most basic of aspects. And I love paintings that are like that. So because at the beginning I was trying to mess a lot with my edges, so like scraping, and the edges were very irregular. And at some point I was like, come on. I mean, I love being cheeky like that with my edges sometimes, but I was like, for example, when I was doing this sharp edge, that's what I asked Danny if she could do me the favor of bringing the ruler. When I did that sharper edge, let's call it sharper. Before that I had like this nice kind of softer dark just bleeding into the atmosphere, and it looked cool, but it wasn't what I wanted to paint. I wanted to paint like a sharper edge there. So, and I told myself, nah, let's not do the expressive kind of part of it. Let's leave that behind for today. There's plenty of paintings that I can do with that expressive sort of nature, where that expressive nature is super evidenced. But today, let's try to do like a very basic, very simple, but well executed painting. And I think that's there. It's just, it's simple. It says what it wants. It says what it's meant to say, and it's nothing more and nothing less. So I'm happy with that. Any comments? Any questions? Or we do we leave it here?
Shan L. Kopech.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Said everything was great.
Thank you.
Liad said looks fine, lighting wise.
Oh, good.
Jessica Ten Bush said the lighting is great.
Awesome.
Alejandro Morales said, I love the fact that you went full value scale.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had to. Well, oh yeah, there's some lights, like my lighter lights are still present in tiny little highlights. Then it's a lot of mid-tone towards the light, mid-tone towards dark. And then our darkest darks are there. So yeah, you're right. We have our whole palette here in terms of value.
Geoff Barnes said HQ production. So I think it looks really good.
Good. Well, I'm super happy then. Jeff, by the way, I think you're doing super cool still lifes. Really, really cool still lifes. So, big fan. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, and I think we're good.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome sauce.
Thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on Monday.
Yeah. I'm gonna paint tomorrow morning and just post a painting. But we'll see you guys on Monday where Danny has to continue our conversation. So we'll see where that takes us.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining us, and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Bye.